What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another live stream for Bangkok Strange. I'm Dana Blue, and as always, joined by my co-host, Mike Somerville. Man, how you doing?
Greetings. Living the dream, baby. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I don't have the wind and the beach and like the typhoon going on down there in the Gulf like you do, but I'm making it happen in Bangkok.
I sent you that video this afternoon. I sent him like a 2-minute video. I walk out my door like basically after the power has been out because I'm like, okay, I got to let him know what's going on, but I also got to give him like a video so that he could potentially share it with everybody saying, this is why Jackass Mike isn't there. Sure, his laptop.
That was my plan when you sent it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, you should just fucking edit this thing up and be like, look, he's getting a goddamn haircut. He can't make it.
And you had a rough day yesterday. Laptop got smashed.
Oh, dude, that was last night. Watching Netflix. I mean, here's the thing that pisses me off. I'm like, this is going to be such a shitty story. At least I could have been like watching porn or something, you know, with like my arms all over the place, friggin' jelly everywhere, you know, something. And no, it's like I was watching Suits on Netflix, and I turned to move that curtain right there, and the bed just like moves, bam, laptop on the floor. But we all know that I have a lame ass laptop. But can you see this? Can you tell?
Yeah, you sent me the photo. I can't really see it on the screen here, but guys, you sent me a photo. It is smashed.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Real quick, guys. Before we forget, I want to say hi to Joseph, Joseph Pinto, Andy Egger. Who's this? Live my ass off, fucking all over our chat, making problems.
Largest penis in Lower Sukhumvit.
Go more hike. Aztec, what's up, brother? Suburban Beard, what's up? Josh, how you doing, bro? All right, guys. So we are here today to talk about this new long-term 9-month visa that everyone is talking about, and to make sure that we get the best possible information, I've invited a special guest onto the podcast. So I'm going to move, and they can come over.
She's a little bigger than you, so she might not fit in frame.
Is possible. So everyone say hi to Jib. You've heard her be mentioned on the podcast before. Jib has done podcasts with me before as well. She was on my radio show in Malaysia, and we also did a pilot episode for another craft podcast called Third Wave Craft that I was working on with someone else. And Jib has her own YouTube channel, Knit by Jib. So Jib, thank you for taking the time away from our downstairs to come upstairs and hang out with Mike and I. So can you guys hear it?
You're going to have to give a little bit of gain. You're going to have to put it on the tie setting.
Yeah. So it's up to 11.
Yeah, nice. Perfect. Good. And we're down to 3.
All right. So, Jib, obviously a lot of people are interested in this visa, that they're talking about on the news. It's 2,000 baht. You have to pay for quarantine. Yeah. It's 90 days. It's a 90-day. It's a 90-day visa with 2 90-day extensions, right?
Yeah.
So what else have you heard on the Thai news that maybe isn't trickling down to us lowly Farangs just yet?
So it's like, okay, you have to pay for your 14 days quarantine in a nice hotel somewhere that I'm not sure. It's like it's Phuket or in Bangkok or...
Well, not just a nice one, but like there's a list of a finite number, right?
Yeah, with a certain... There's a certain list of like certified.
Yeah. Of the hotel that you can pick, and like that hotel will like work with a hospital. Some will be like a high standard hospital, like private hospital.
Bumrungrad,
something like
Samiti
that.
Wet.
Something like that. Yeah.
Any soapies on that list?
No. Or you have. Or
you guys know what a soapy is?
Oh my God. Okay, so his wife, like, you think Gracie has to put up with shit? This chick is a friggin' saint.
So, sorry guys, no soapies on the list. I know Josh isn't coming to Thailand now. No suburban. So also, from what I was reading, there is going to be a quota on this visa. It's 300 people per week, 1,200 per month. And there's only going to be flights from certain locations that they haven't identified yet.
And only charters.
know, like where,
Yeah.
like where they're from
Yeah.
yet. Like they just say 100 to 300 a week.
Yeah.
That's it.
1,200 a month maximum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but didn't like give more information about like where.
They're going to be charter flights on Thai Airways, correct?
No announcement about that. No
Oh.
more detail, but like they just make decision about this program
Mm.
because it's kind of like people like Thai people kind of argue a lot about this because we worry about like a recurrent of outbreak.
Yeah, so obviously we've done really well here in Thailand
Yeah.
that we've been able to. Josh said, "That's it. It's all over."
Yeah. Jib, are you concerned? I mean, are you concerned that like people are going to come in with friggin' disease and Thailand's going to be all screwed up?
Well, like it might be like longer than 14 days. Who knows?
Yeah.
If you're strong, if you're strong, you might like have it and like not positive for the taste. Yeah,
That's true.
14 days.
So I talked to a friend today who's actively in quarantine. He's had a B visa in Thailand, and he was just able to get back from the U.S. after flying. He didn't tell me everywhere he went, but it was like he said it was a gauntlet of flights. So,
but he came from the U.S.
He was in New York for a long time, and he was able to get somewhere else, and get somewhere else, and get somewhere else, and get to Thailand.
Did he have to quarantine at any of those hops along the way?
I don't know. We didn't get into it today.
Okay, cool.
But he sent me some photos. He's staying on the river, so he's in a 5-star hotel, quarantine on the river, and not cheap.
That's Jacksonville River, right?
Yeah.
We never actually was there.
No. So he's on the riverfront, down by Icon Siam and stuff. So he gets to leave his room for 1 hour a day, which must be excruciating because from his room he has a view of both the pool and the river. So imagine being in your room when they bring you all your food. He said the food, like you're not going to complain about the food. The service is outstanding, but you get to go out for 1 hour a day. You've got to wear little shoe booties. You've got to mask up. You've got to wear gloves, and you have to social distance from everyone else. But you can get outside. You can walk around. You can't go in the pool. And like they leave the food, and I guess as a protocol, like they knock, and then you have to wait, and then you can get the food.
So they can run away.
Yeah.
Like avoid contact.
Yeah. So I mean, they're taking it very serious, and so he's in there for 14 days, and he says no, he's not allowed like actual contact with anyone until he passes his second test.
Which is when? Day 14 or
for COVID-19. So yeah, day 14 is his second test.
Okay.
So he had a negative test going in, and he's got to have a negative test to get out. And apparently, I guess it extends by an additional 14 if you have a positive test. So
yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think they're considering anything a false positive at this point in the quarantine.
Jib, do you have any Thai friends that live down in Phuket?
One.
So the reason I'm asking is because obviously there was this idea, hey, let's do this to Phuket first, right? And my understanding is that they said, no, we're not going to do this now because the government or whoever, whatever organization, went down to Phuket, and the local citizens, while they're like dying for tourist dollars, they were like, we're more concerned about our health. Have you had that conversation with your friend down there?
Not really, because like she passed like the lockdown, like really locked down her. I think it's like a village or sub-district.
Yeah.
She cannot like cross like that line. Cannot go to shopping mall. Yeah.
I remember the first day that they broke her lockdown. She was like, I'm going to walk and get like pork and sticky rice.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I'm going to go to the beach and see the sunrise in the morning.
Good for her.
Morning market, get khanom krok, get like pat hongko, everything. Like, really? Is that like,
that's your priority?
Yeah. So she can just like go around her area, like let's say village, and like fresh market there. Like no starving, of course, but like cannot go to shopping.
Can't go to Mike's shopping mall.
Cannot go to a coffee shop or like beach.
Yeah, and she's a dentist down in Phuket, and she has kind of a nice little social life. Her and her dog,
Yeah.
right? They have like a little social life. They go to their cafes, they go to their restaurants. She travels
So
all
wait.
over Thailand and buys like embroidered dresses from this one master. Like, no ties. Listen to this, so I'm gonna spill the beans on this story. No, cannot. Just a little bit.
We might want to bring her friend on to interview her from Phuket. So let's be nice.
Well, no. So she's a fan of this one master,
Hmm.
and he was having a sale. His master embroiderer from Chiang Mai.
Okay, I was going to say, what kind of master?
I don't. Maybe he's a master of something else. Kama Sutra. I don't know.
Of masturbator?
But so Jib's the dentist. We'll call her the dentist. She's a big fan of his work, and he was having a sale. A lot. It was like a lucky draw sale, but you had to like pick your number, and then you could pick your piece.
So it's like for the sale, it's a first day of like a expo. So he set out a bird and like bring all the robe that like
yeah, all these like embroidered robes.
So this master actually he like draw on the Thai robe, it's like skirt we call pasin. So there are many styles from the north. So and then like after he draw, he like hire a villager to embroider it, like different color, different drawing. So people like go crazy for it, and like it might be like 40 to 50 each time when he comes to Bangkok for expo. So like you will see all girls, not girls, sorry, ladies, like try like fight to like stand in the line, like a first person in the line, like whenever like
world star fist fights breaking out and shit.
kind of like you want like a concert ticket.
Yeah.
It's a high demand concert ticket, and you like have to run to be the first one to pick the seat, kind of. And with this, you have to run to be the first one in the line, like waiting line. So that, like my friend asked me to help her. Like, okay, if I bring you, then I have more chance to get it. Like, oh my god. And then
Stand so I can go to the bathroom.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
and I'm waiting in front of like of the place, waiting for the guard to open the door, and
At
we
impact.
ran.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like to stand at that booth. So we have to check, okay, where?
Yeah. And
exactly in the hall.
And not just her and Jib.
Yeah. So we kind of like have to
multiple
run
of them on her team. Well, I can't say that.
Like,
but yeah.
She asked for her mom, her brother, to help. And like we stand in line, and like actually the lucky drawer start like 10. So we have to stand. Do not even move. So don't lose the place. And then when the start the lucky draw is like you pick the number like for you yourself. So like even I'm the first one in the line, if I get the number 40, that means
oh my god,
the 40th person who pick like who do like who get a lucky draw another jar to get the rope. So you cannot pick the rope by yourself. So he said the rope will pick you.
So this is like a physical garment that you guys are like standing in line.
Skirt, pasin, right?
No.
It's like not a sarong, but similar.
Yeah,
similar.
It's for guy, but
like the really thick silk.
No,
not super
really.
thick.
Like it's a cotton,
medium weight fabric.
It can be cotton or silk.
But
from the north.
Some of these are like 100,000 baht. Like depends on the intricacy of the pattern. And then the one that you went to that time, there was like some lady showed up in like a ninja mask to like hide her identity.
Why?
That one. Well, actually, it's like her sister cannot go and her mom cannot go. So that lady just had like a plastic surgery, so she has covered everything.
Oh my God.
But she has to go for her mom and sister, and she got the most expensive one.
Yeah. So if you guys are ever in Thailand, you're taking the train, you see a bunch of girls with black eyes on the BTS. It's not that we have a super high level of domestic violence here in Thailand, but anytime there's a long weekend, the doctors will bang out like 50, 60 rhinoplasties or nose jobs in like a weekend. So like like the Tuesday after a 4-day weekend, you'll see girls on the train or in the mall, 2 big black eyes wearing a face mask covering their nose. So Joseph Pinto wants to know what the master's name is.
Ajahn Pu.
Ajahn Pu.
Pu.
Which tone?
Pu.
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 No.
Pu.
Like get it.
He's from
like Edgar Allan.
This is a tough one. So it's Pu.
Pu.
The tones are tough. So Ajahn Pu Joseph is his name.
Not Pu.
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 So yeah, so she lives in Phuket. So she's our like Phuket connection. But yeah, she has a social life with her dog. Her and her dog go around, hang out at cafes, go for walks. Long walks.
But why was she in quarantine? I mean, did she like leave and come back to Thailand?
On lockdown.
The whole village.
Oh, this is during lockdown. Got it. But currently, though, right? She's down there and she's doing her normal life in Phuket, right?
Babe, can you spell that for Joseph?
Thai?
Yeah, Joseph, you want to Thai spelling or English phonetic?
Totally write it in Thai for Joseph. So here you go, sport.
I don't have Thai keyboard on this.
Oh.
You don't?
No, I have it on my phone. I don't have it on my computer.
Oh, got it, yeah.
But
I mean, she's living her normal life in Phuket right now, though, right? So my question would be, is she concerned at all about foreigners coming in and potentially infecting the place? Or is she like, no, we're ready, bring the tourists in, we've got great medical care, we got a bunch of hotels?
So, yeah, I guess because she's a dentist, right? No matter what, she's going to be up in people's mouths.
Yeah, like she's already doing that. Yeah.
And the dental office that she works at is mostly foreigner clients, I believe, is what she told me.
Thai and foreigner.
Yeah, so she's going to be, people go there for dental work because it's so cheap here.
Yeah,
so,
right. And excellent quality.
Yeah, it is. Dude, did I ever tell you last time I broke a tooth eating somtum? Right? So,
did Jib make?
No, we got it from the market. Jib can't cook. Jib can microwave like a motherfucker, though.
Oh, yeah, well, me too, so I can't say anything.
So I go to the dentist. I broke my tooth in half. I go to the dentist, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna have to do a root canal. Like, it's not. We can't save it." So I'm like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." And so they did something that day, and then I had to go back and get like the other part. So they did the root canal that day, like right there.
Temporary crown.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for they're like numbing me up, right, for the root canal. And they're just like jacking me full of Novocaine. And, they try to cover your face here when they do that.
Yes.
So I was like, no, not going to happen. And she's like, oh, but like, you
why?
might get
like
nervous.
That?
I'm like, oh, I'm going to be nervous if you have my face covered, you're drilling in my mouth. And,
really? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And so she's like, okay. And then she's going to inject the Novocaine. She misses my mouth and stabs me in the face with the needle.
Where were you getting this done? Like friggin' cowboy?
No, this is
Jesus Christ.
Johnny Wet in our old hood.
Okay, she stabs you in the face. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that the cheek was here on the farang.
Yeah, she got like right into like stuck it through my cheek. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Jesus Christ, dude! Upgrade.
But overall, not bad. And it was like I think I paid 18,000 baht for this root canal.
Oh wow, Gracie got one right on probably Sukhumvit 20, something like that.
Yeah.
Bangkok Smile. They have places all over the place.
Yeah.
her root canal in the back was like $200, and then the one on the front tooth was $300.
Well,
I mean, it was
premium crown. I think that was.
Yeah, well, she had to on the front, right? Because you can't have like friggin'
So,
piece of shit right
so
there.
Go More Hikes says, so do you think the 90-day tourist visa is worth it? 14-day quarantine at an expensive hotel is a high price to pay. So it's not necessarily an expensive hotel. There are ranges of the hotels. And even if you were to opt for a hospital, some of the hospitals might be more expensive than a hotel. Like I believe Bowmangrad is like $1,000 a night.
Yeah. But don't forget, I mean, look at it from the perspective of like, I mean, Hike, I'm sure you would be stoked to be able to come over here for 90 days. But the majority of like not the majority, a lot of the people that watch this channel, that watch my channel, that watch Dana's channel, they're guys in the US that basically come over here for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever, and they go back home and they go to work.
Yeah.
This is for people that have to stay 90 days, cannot leave, must vacation, must spend money. So if you extrapolate it out and say, okay, so for the first 2 weeks, maybe I'm like $4,000 in. For the remaining 2.5 months, dude, you're paying Thai prices for your life. So over 90 days, Jesus, it's a great deal.
You also have to have 100,000 USD in medical insurance, and you have to have a negative test on departure.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I believe that travel insurance is being counted here. So if you buy $100,000 in travel insurance, travel medical, that will cover you. 147 days. Yeah. So Joseph, right? So yeah, the people who are doing this, they're not coming here for a 90-day vacation. They're coming here they want to come here for the entire stay. I think it's 250 days is the whole stay or something like that.
270.
270 you can get out of this. So it's if you want to relocate, like say if you're in the US and you're in like I was just talking to my friend from Texas, they're forcing them to send their kids back to school, and there's no like social distancing plan, there's no containment plan. Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you're in some shit state, like I like Texas. I don't necessarily think Texas is a shit state, but say you're in like a shit community that, say you're from Rhode Island. I grew up in Rhode Island. I'll say Rhode Island is a shit state. Say you're in a state like that is like not handling this well. You're having issues. There's other problems. You want to exit wherever you're at, whether it's America, Europe, Middle East, wherever. This is the plan that gets you to Thailand, to a country. That's it.
Now, don't forget, I mean, one of the things that they're saying is like, look, okay, I believe the way I read it, and maybe Jib can correct me because obviously I read the English translation, is that at a minimum you have to have basically a paid ahead of time 14-day quarantine hotel. So you got to have that. But what they're sort of wanting, it sounds to me like, is they're wanting you to basically have some degree of proof that you are a permanent resident. Like they would really prefer not necessarily a yellow book, but they would want to see like your lease agreement, like you're coming back to like live here permanently. Is that accurate, or is it just like no, just stay in a hotel?
So I think you can do either. I think you're pretty right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then,
what was Todd's comment?
Whose?
Dorman. Sorry, TY is Todd. Yeah. He's coming over here. He's coming basically through Cambodia.
Well, he said a hangover 2, you get a teeth cleaning and a happy ending.
When don't you get a happy ending in Thailand? I get that going to the fucking big C.
Did I ever tell you?
Isn't that what the C stands for? The big C stands for. Oh wait, sorry. There's a lady present.
Actually, Jib knows this story because Jib was at the mall with me when this happened at Terminal. So in Thailand, guys, you go if you've never been here, you go into the bathrooms and there's almost always a woman attendant.
Yeah.
So you remember this?
No.
I told you about this.
No.
So I walk into the bathroom at Terminal 21, which is a great mall, and Terminal 21 happens to be the mall closest to Pala Pizza. So they're pretty much connected. So if, you finish at Terminal, you can eat some Pala. You finish at Pala, you can go to Terminal. But I walk into the bathroom and the lady attendant, she's like 50. She's cleaning the wall, right? Just wiping, like they're constantly wiping stuff with the rag. She just starts cleaning the shit, like just cleaning vigorously the urinal next to the one I'm using. Like,
Is she going?
Like I think she's on the verge of trying to clean the urinal I'm using. Like she's just like making everything clean around here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Don't want to miss anything. Just clean it. She goes to the other side, starts cleaning the other side, make sure she gets a good view of everything. Just
Yeah.
like hardcore staring at my dick. And I'm just like so nervous. I'm trying to pee, and now I'm restricted.
Stage fright. I fucking hate that.
Do you hear my wife here? Talking about trying to find it.
Ouch. Well, it is cold up there. I mean, so you could go with the shrinkage excuse.
So, but yeah, so like I walk out of the bathroom, I tell Jill, I'm like, yeah, so the attendant, she was just like, wouldn't stop cleaning right next to me while I'm using the bathroom. She's like, maybe she's collecting data for a paper. I don't know.
Nice. Good answer, Jim. Way to go. That's a beauty.
That's what happens when you're married to a scientist.
Yeah, right.
So Joseph's talking about they closed the school after 1 week on his grandson. So is Georgia? Because I know Georgia closed a bunch of schools right after they opened. Where are you, Joseph?
You know how they're doing it in Massachusetts is the kids go to school Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday they clean the entire school, and then a different set of students go to class Thursday and Friday, and then they clean the school again on Sunday. I mean, it's amazing. It's probably headed by the woman who was cleaning the urinal next to your gigantically small penis.
So, it just looks small because I am so big.
See, therein lies. That's why I'm always trying to lose weight, dude. Because it's a comparison. It's
perspective. It's perspective.
Yeah, always wearing black because it's slimming.
Right. So it's like parking a Mini Cooper next to a semi truck. It's always going to look small.
Yes, absolutely. It's like, where are you going to park that Mini Cooper? Next to this fucking 125cc motorbike?
Exactly. Looks ginormous.
Look at the size of those 14-inch wheels. Jesus Christ. It should be in an Escalade.
What golf cart did you get those off of? Joseph says they're in Florida. Well, that's, if I was in Florida, I'd be trying to get the fuck out as quick as possible.
But again, that's, it's a state, right? I mean, California's fucked up, but probably, I don't know, the beaches, right? Like a lot of the beach cities in California are probably doing okay, but like Barstow, I mean, those people are probably just like, just pack like 7 or 8 of them in a fucking double wide, will be golden.
Stockton.
No judgment. Yeah, Stockton, exactly. Oakland, what are you shitting me? They're like, dude, we've been setting fire to shit for the last 30 years.
Yeah, you think about Florida, though. Like for me, like I've been to Florida a handful of times. Miami's great. The Keys are different, right? The Keys are like, okay, this is like kind of laid back vibe. The Keys are a little weird, but they're good.
It's like Koh Phangan.
Pangan. Got Pangan.
Just like Kosan Road.
Khao
Yeah.
Kosan.
I came from.
You might like end up a different place or get different thing.
Did you tell her about the fucking coconut I keep ordering because I want ice water?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, one time I was trying to take a taxi from Future Park to Bangkok, and this is when I was living here for like a year, and I could barely say Bangkok, right? And the driver thought I said Bangapi. And so
he takes you all the way over.
Yeah, so like I was half asleep in the back of this taxi, and I opened my eyes, and we're driving down Whipavity, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" He's like, "Oh, Bangapi." I'm like, "No, Bangadi." He's like, "Oh, who goes to Bangadi?" Turns around, takes me. It's like a ended up costing like 600 baht to get home.
It's all about depth
apparently
perception.
Jacksonville.
Oh.
Is okay. They're allowed fans of their football game.
Yeah, right.
They have a football team? Is that like Any Given Sunday? That was in Florida, right? That movie with Al Pacino?
Isn't it the Jacksonville Jaguars? No.
The sport doesn't involve like head trauma from fists and elbows. I'm really not into it.
Yeah, that's kind of like why I like hockey.
Well, you're Canadian now, after all.
Dude, I have to. I mean, because at the end of the day, women watch football, men play hockey.
So go more hike. So how are the schools doing in Thailand? In-person schools or telecommuting? So Jib's daughter is in high school.
Yes.
So in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they all go to school, no new case, like no positive case for student, also teachers. So it's kind of be safe. And like
As of July 1st, right?
Huh?
As of July 1st, right?
When do they open?
Yeah, July 1st. Yeah, because my school opened too.
Yeah, so Jib is in school right now as well.
Back to school.
Yeah. So
well, Jib's also in high school. No judgment.
Yeah. No judgment. What is this, Cambodia?
I love scumbags.
Jib's face.
She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why do you get some body hair, Mike, and then be relevant?
So Jib's school, and how many students in your school, Beb?
Oh, not many. Like 45 plus 15, and then
Your program is seven. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So her classroom is just 7 people all day. No chairs, just sitting on the floor.
Yes.
One of those straw mats, and then they like bring food together, and then they all share.
So Jib is like the second youngest in her class. So I'm just like, you must hear like knees popping, like every time people get up for a break. It's just like plop, pop, pop, pop.
Yes.
What
Hips popping.
is this? What subject matter is it again?
It's a master embroidery program.
Embroidery.
Yeah.
Thai embroidery.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember others. Yeah, nice.
So Jib's
That's
the
awesome.
second youngest, and so like I've met some of the other ones, and like they've got like orthopedic shoes and like knee braces, and
Not
they
that
all wear
bad.
like the high school uniform.
Yeah.
Do you recognize any of the women in there from the restroom at Terminal 21?
But I guess actually I'm not allowed to go to her school even because like to get past the gate you have to be a woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
interesting.
inside the palace.
Yeah, it's in the palace, and it's a section of the palace that's only women.
The Grand Palace?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like near Wat Po?
No,
Wat Phra Kaew.
like in
It's
the
in Wat Phra Kaew.
it's in the wall of the palace. It's inside the wall.
Like okay, and again, I only know like Grand Palace, Wat Po. So I mean, is it that like tourist place where I'd go or no?
Wat Phra Kaew. Wat Po is the next temple, like
Right.
Grand Palace.
So, but it's over in that physical area of Bangkok.
It's in the palace. It's inside of the palace.
So, how far like would I as a tourist get to the entrance to the palace? Like, is it
Just like
meter?
the temple part?
Yeah.
Like the tourist in, and like you can walk past in front of the main what do you call like the main hall of the palace. Like you just walk past the outside and see it. That's all, and then you walk to exit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think yes. Like that long sidewalk. Isn't there like that long sidewalk, and then the palace is off to your left as you walk? I'm trying to remember. Like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's gorgeous. I love that building.
I
And
like my school is like behind that.
No aircon.
Yeah, just fan.
There's no air conditioning in the palace, the king's house.
In that part.
Oh, okay.
For a student.
Yeah.
Classroom.
All the elderly students studying embroidery.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
It's like you walk into other world.
Yeah, it must be. Maybe you should be going to like cooking school though. I mean, according to
They have
Dana.
a cooking school in
Yeah,
there.
they have cooking program, and like girls fight to get a seat because like hundreds of people will like want to go to school per year, but they just 45 persons.
Wow.
Per year.
Congratulations.
No,
that's awesome.
That's cooking.
Yeah, no,
which is I don't cook.
Embroidery. They can't get enough people to fill the seats.
They're pulling chicks in from the restroom at Terminal 21.
Like I said, when they go to get up off the floor, you hear all the hips popping and knees popping.
Mine will pop, you know.
Mine would too if I had to sit on the floor. I'd get up and be like, I don't know if I'd be able to get up. Like, I'm just gonna lay here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll tough it out. Yeah, but so I think like these things, like school reopening, the visa happening, it's really a shift back to normality. And like I think they've only got like the 9-month plan for this visa right now. So like I'm not sure, like they've only got this first wave planned out. There's no second wave of this visa plan that I've heard of. So I don't know if it's a new permanent type of visa or if it's just this one-time thing.
Everything I've heard says and indicates that it is not permanent. Is that it will last no longer than December of next year.
So who knows? Maybe if this program work well and we don't get new case in country, government might consider about like, okay, extend the visa, like, okay, because we need like economy to move, we need money, and if you have it and you want to stay somewhere not expensive,
even if you live like Mike lives up in a condo like right on Sukhumvit, I live further in a neighborhood, right? But even if you live like me and like I work from home all day, like Jib's at the school all day, but we're still like contributing to the economy, right? Whereas like Mike goes out to eat every day,
basically.
Well, he's like vacationing on islands, right? He's pumping a lot more cash into the economy than me. Then I'm just staying home, like eating street food. But no, even if you're doing it like I'm doing it, you're still like enough of those people are adding a big benefit to the economy here. Hey, good night.
Well, think about it, dude. I mean, where you live, like when I walk down the street, I'm the only white dude. Like your whole neighborhood is functioning. So let me ask you this, Jim. Like I walk down there and I see everything basically happening the same way it did the first time I came over your place. Like, is everybody working? Like, I don't see a whole bunch of places closed. Is it that Thai that it's like so self-sufficient? Like the Thais are buying and selling from the Thais and everything's working? Or are there a lot of people in your neighborhood that are like broke and they're shutting their business down?
So like from what I see along the soy, I mean my street, it's like everything normal.
Yeah.
Everything like look normal. I think the place that change is might be like a expensive area that you have to pay a lot for rent.
Yeah.
And like not paid anymore. And then it's like the time that they have to lock down, like close all the restaurant and don't know when we're gonna reopen. So with that, like think about like if you have to pay like 100K a month.
Yeah.
For rent, that's hurt.
Yeah, that's a lot of chicken you got to sell.
So like restaurant and business in expensive area gone, but local restaurant, local business still because the rent is not very expensive.
So I was telling the story on the last live stream, babe, about the ghost kitchen inside the restaurant where we always saw the drivers. And they shut
across from the 7-Eleven.
Across from the 7-Eleven.
Oh, the somtam shop.
Yeah, and they were like you were getting your hair cut, and they were gossiping about that restaurant.
Yeah, the auntie hairdresser gossip about.
Classic. Hairdressers are the same no matter what country you're in, right? It's gossip.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for the most part, our neighborhood has been like a couple of the street food vendors have kind of closed, but like. The place where we get our drinks from, like the drink auntie over by Little C, she's been open the whole time. Her business has been good. I think it's her son's Pornhub shirt that attracts all the clientele for sure.
Makes sense. That's why I swing by.
I posted a photo of that on my Facebook and on my Instagram, and that was probably the most liked photo. It was like hundreds of likes. People were going crazy about it. And his mom is like, he's handing me the drink with the Pornhub shirt, and his mom is like in the background laughing because she knows what the shirt is.
He's like, man, these high quality US t-shirts for 99 cents are friggin' awesome.
Look, the kid is just a fan of good data science. That's all.
Roger that, dude. Number 8 website in the entire friggin' world.
Their analytics game is on point. It's actually
anal.
They've got there's an election coming up in the U.S., so I'm sure we're about to see a good analytics drop from them.
Well, I mean, nothing says analytics like Pornhub. Boom.
Damn right.
Analytics.
So, he put up here. I heard it was more aimed at people that own condos or property in Thailand too. So I've seen that as a rumor, but I've not heard any sources that I really trust saying that it's aimed at those individuals. I've heard that there is going to be a selection process, but that criteria has not been made public. So I think it's really just speculation at this point. I'm not saying it's going to be wrong. Definitely, it could 100% be right, but right now I can't confirm or deny, and everything I've heard is just that the criteria is still up in the air.
Jib, do you have any friends or like even family, I guess, that are Thai, that are like, look, I don't give a shit about these foreigners getting back. I need to get home. Like, I cannot get home. I'm a Thai citizen. Let me in. Do you know anybody that's in that state?
No, they've repatriated a lot of people.
Yeah.
There was
that for the flight.
Almost all of them. Okay.
If you live in like European countries and like just like small number want to come back, how can they book the flight, right? They have to collect enough passenger.
Yeah.
Right.
One flight.
So with the U.S., they did a reciprocal program.
I just saw like the girl that I used to work with in the hospital. Mm-hmm. She married with Swiss guy, I think Swiss.
Yeah.
And she just came back, stayed in a
state
quarantine, and
then
the
girl that we had dinner with at the Japanese.
No,
okay.
No, this one. She's still in Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah, but she can come back. Yeah.
Good. Problem. That's good.
She married with foreigner, and then can come back.
Yeah.
No problem.
So the U.S. and Thailand had like a reciprocal program on repatriation. For some reason, there were Americans in Thailand that wanted to repatriate to the U.S. and deal with COVID there.
It was probably based on like their finite amount of time that they could legally spend. I mean, don't forget, dude, they did an amnesty like at the first day in March. People were like, I mean, the State Department, because they send me emails through that STEP program, they were sending emails that were like, listen, unless you want to stay in Thailand indefinitely, they were using that text, you should get home right now. And it was kind of like, okay, that's a little bit, you're overreacting.
I'll stay indefinitely.
So you stay
fucking copy that, dude. Jeez.
Why would
Best thing that ever happened to me.
So, so the U.S. and Thailand were repatriating citizens on the same flights, so back and forth, and they were sharing the cost. But like just a few months ago, there was a couple students who had been stranded in Colombia, and
I heard about that.
I think it was in Medellin, and they just got repatriated, and this is what I also don't get. There were foreigners bitching about the Thai government spending money to repatriate Thai citizens from Colombia.
Fuck them.
It's not our money, right? Like, they're citizens, right? They want to be here because this is a place that's doing well during this pandemic. So, like, I don't understand like why people were like, especially foreigners, like, were bitching about it. I have my opinions on democracy and government and all these things, but look, when a government's taking care of its citizens, like, I'm never going to criticize that.
Totally. That's what I criticize the Philippines about not doing enough.
We got a good question here from Go More Hike. What's the mood from the top in Thailand? In the U.S., there's an element of where they say it could have been worse. We got to go ahead and reopen. First of all, I'm not sure how it could have been worse in America.
No shit.
But the government, not every state, but at the federal level, like we saw really poor leadership.
Incompetent.
In some states, we saw really poor leadership. Georgia's one that comes to mind, where the governor tried to sue the mayor of Atlanta over a mask mandate. I mean, it was just, they were playing politics with people's lives, in my opinion. So I don't understand why America thinks it could have been worse. It's pretty fucking bad. However, in Thailand, Thailand suffered for sure. And I think Thai people in a whole suffered March, April, May.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yes.
Like one of Jib's close friends works for Thai Airways,
Yeah.
and
Cannot.
they took care. I mean, they did kind of go on. They still paid them a little bit.
Yeah,
They-
but it's like I would say less than 50%.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say I thought it was 30%. Yeah.
but it was something, right? She got to go home, and actually,
Mm.
you were telling me she actually, because she's like essentially her salary is her only money.
Yes.
She did okay compared to like pilots and flight attendants who get like pay depending on what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it was like it was a percentage of your base salary, but so
Yes.
like they at least got something, but they were the minority. A lot of people just had nothing.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
March, April, May was really tough for Thailand for a lot of Thai people. And I'm not necessarily a fan of the current government of the prime minister, but good leadership in a crisis situation. He stepped up. There was a general who let a bunch of high-so Thais go from the airport and not go to quarantine. And like
Mhm.
the prime minister was on TV. He's like, "Oh no, that general's coming to see me. We're gonna have a talk, and that won't happen again." And then he pretty much told the minister of health to shut the fuck up and let the head of the pandemic response team deal with it. And I think that Thailand put the prime minister's government put what they call that group? It's not pandemic response, the COVID-19 committee.
Oh,
like
the CA.
สบค
Yeah, but there was an acronym for it. Do you remember the acronym? It's okay. Jib will look it up, but they did a fantastic job, and also they were communicating information in English and Thai.
Mhm.
So obviously,
Yeah.
Thai was the
Oh,
priority.
my favorite guy.
Yeah. So the guy
Yeah.
who was the English language PR person, he did a
Yeah.
wonderful job. And he was
Daily updates.
daily
Yeah,
updates
yeah,
in
that guy.
English with an American accent, proper American accent. So go more hike, man. I don't mean to like dog on where you're at or whatever, but in Thailand, they went through the worst, and the reason that they're so hesitant right now to
CCSA.
CCSA is the name
CCSA,
of
yeah.
the committee.
Mm.
So the reason that they're in Jib, correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason Thailand is taking it slow now is because they've already paid the price economically and personally.
Right.
And I think Thais understand, like, look, we've come through the worst of it, and we see what happened in Spain, we see what happened in Italy, we see what happened in America, right? We don't want to make that same mistake. So we want the economy to grow, but we don't want to be screwed in the long term.
Correct.
So yes, they want to reopen, but like they've reopened malls. Like we went to the movies twice, like
So
3
it's like-
times in the
So
past
they have a
month.
plan. Like there are many steps. Like a reopen, like
Yeah.
something that like very like necessary, very important for living. They will open first, and then like next step, okay, maybe salon and thing. So now we kind of like fully open for everything, almost everything. I think stadium open
Mm.
too, but maybe
Mhm.
need like a number of audience.
Jib, you've been sent a smoothie.
What is that?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I think we'll give that. It's like what, $5, whatever. Send a smoothie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's called buymeasmoothie.com, and so people get money. So thank you, Joseph. I was just going to say that. That's awesome,
So,
dude.
I
Appreciate
think
it.
we'll give that to the Hill Tribe, to Cruson.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Big time.
we'll record an episode with a breakdown of the Hill Tribe, because we talked to the teacher the other day. I've got some new photos to update, and so when we'll do a blog and I can edit them in. So I sent her some money myself. I gave her like 3,000 baht to buy chicken feed and food for the kids.
Dude, throw the PayPal link in the crawl there.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, this is a really awesome thing, guys. It wasn't just something that we like started talking about a few streams ago. It's like we talk about this during the live stream, and then Dana and I are online like every day talking about it.
Every day.
And so we're really, really psyched about this. I'm honored that I can be a part of it. I'm really psyched that Jib is going to help us out. And you know what, Jib? Thank you so much for coming on today, because I had like a bunch of questions, and honestly, when Dana first asked me to do this, I'm like, dude, of course I want to do it. My ego thinks it would be amazing, but I'm not Thai like Woody. And I mean, how are we going to get that perspective, right? And now that your cooking is even shittier than Woody's, I'm stoked that you're here. Wait, what?
What? Woody's actually a good cook.
But we have smoothie money now, so we're good.
Yeah. So I sent 3,000 baht to the teacher just because like she was telling us that they didn't cut her pay, but she took a different position that's more
different
secure.
position. So it's
Yeah.
like she's like maybe one type of a government staff
Yeah.
as she is teacher. So they get paid as a government rate, but
Yeah.
before this, she might get paid from like other source that pay her more.
So she pays out of pocket a lot for the
Yeah.
kids, and so like the boy with what's the boy's name with thalassemia?
To
The cute guy. I put up some photos of him. He's she covers his medical expenses out of pocket. It's about 12,000 baht a year, because he has to have blood transfusions and get like dialysis or whatever for his thalassemia.
12,000 baht for the entire year.
It's 1,000 baht a month for his treatments.
So I don't know.
Okay, we're raising that amount during the next live stream.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want, and he's a great kid. And again, like the case is very severe. So Jim and I were actually discussing, like, he's still alive, you know, so like that's
5 years.
5 years after we went.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So, but, and then also the boy with the slingshot, what's his name, Ben?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Holding the rat.
But she sent us an updated photo of him. That little bastard is handsome as hell now. I'll put it
He's tall.
And he's tall and he's good looking, and his hair grew back. Luckily, I didn't butcher his hair completely.
Well, he's probably pretty fit if he's chasing rats around the goddamn jungle. He's probably in excellent shape.
Talk about fit. So he's going to school at the in the village, 20 kilometers away from where their hill tribe village
have to
is.
walk down.
So,
Oh my God.
so 20 kilometers away. Every Friday, he walks back to the village from the town to help his mom farm rice for the weekend, then walks back Sunday night.
Oh my God, dude.
So
I want to hire this kid.
through a mountain.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're we're really excited for like what's going on. They still need solar, so that's still, I think, our biggest priority is to bring them a solar kit, teach the kids, like some of the older kids, how to work on it. You know, basic Ohm's law. We'll bring them a multimeter. Right?
For
You know,
sure.
it's a great tool to know how to use a multimeter.
Yeah.
You know, so that we're gonna put, and then the chicken feed, right, is like 590 baht. There, she's raised chickens in the. I assume the chicken feed is corn, but maybe it's something else.
Something with more protein. So
Yeah.
like chicken.
Yeah, she got some
lay
fat.
eggs.
She got some fat chickens
It's like
for Thai chickens.
it's a chicken to like lay eggs.
Yeah, so they get the eggs for the kids and for the village, so they get more protein.
They're running around all day, though, right? They're not like in a friggin' big.
So they have like
They have
building.
like a pen, like a chicken pen. So I think if they were to leave it like completely like free range, the snakes and all the other wild things out there would eat them. But I mean, the pen is probably like the size of my downstairs.
For how many chickens?
20.
20.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Have you ever shown Jib the chicken factories in the United States?
No, but I'm sure she's
I
seen.
think
Well,
it's
CP does the same.
a documentary about like
Probably.
food industry,
Yeah.
about like chicken and cow.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't take care of our farm animals in the U.S. So, but yeah, so like that kid's still doing good. He's still in school, which is fantastic. You know, and then one of the girls who we met when we were there, she went on to graduate. She's in nursing school.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Now she's a nursing student.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Can you believe that?
and one of the boys is in vocational school.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like he's learning how to use a multimeter, or?
No, I don't know. So vocational schools here are a bit different than the U.S. There's like vocations tend to be like cooking. Like what? There's cooking
It
at
can be
vocational
like
schools,
a
mechanic.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
how to be chef.
Yeah.
Or
Like welding.
cooking,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Many
Okay.
things.
Yeah, but
Electric.
it's not necessarily like just electrician or just like
I mean,
Yeah.
anything.
carpentry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on school what program they
Good
have.
for him.
So I mean, there's a couple kids who've done really well, and then obviously there's been some other changes in the village. But they're raising fish in like a mud puddle.
You should try to catch the fish there.
So they dig these holes and they fill the bigger hole with water and all these little.
Rainwater.
They put the fish in the holes, and then when they want to get a fish, they dive in with their hands and try to scoop them out. And the teacher sent us a photo of one of the kids just holding a muddy fish in his hands.
When you get fish that way, so
Yeah.
just have to beware, don't get snake.
I have zero problems today. I mean, these kids are so friggin' resilient. I love it. I love hearing these stories. It's just amazing.
Thais don't have to be tested and foreigners have to. So what's the point of them test foreigners when they still can get a flight if the Thai is positive?
Well, because when the Thais come into the country, they get basically free medical care at a government hospital, don't they?
So the Thais get free quarantine at a government hospital, 14 days.
Right. Yeah. So they get tested eventually.
I believe they're still testing the. So when they were doing the reciprocal flights, the flights inbound were only Thais.
Yeah.
And the flights outbound were only Americans.
Yeah.
To be clear.
My dad's friend, like she has sister.
Your dad has friends?
No, well, white only.
So like they Thai, but I believe they get like a American citizenship, so they just flew back to US.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to see their kids. No, they grew up. No, not kids anymore. Like their son, daughter. You know, like they stuck here.
Yeah.
Since like lockdown, like airport closed, cannot go back to US. Like they're home in US. Yeah. Until like I think last week I saw like that friend post photo that she sent like her sister and her brother-in-law fly back to US. Yes.
I would have stayed indefinitely. So Gomor Hike says, I asked that because from what I see, it's a gigantic disaster here. But if you watch the news, it doesn't sound that bad. They even started playing sports again, high school up to pro. They're letting high school kids play sports. That's insane. In the US,
they're playing, but they don't have spectators, right? Isn't that sort of the
But if you're a high school kid, you're not a professional athlete. Now you're
totally
football, right? You're coming in contact, or you're wrestling, right? That professionals can make that call. High school kids can't, man.
It's just so. Now, Hike, you're in sort of more of a rural area, right? Or are you in like downtown Mobile? I can't remember whether you're in like a bigger city, but
is it Mobile or Mobile or
I say Mobile, Alabama, but I could be wrong because I also say Cow Sand Road.
Cow Sand
Road.
So Mobile, Mobile. I think
Mobile Home, Alabama. Mobile Home. That's why.
I've only been through Alabama once. I didn't go to Mobile, Alabama. I didn't go to Mobile. It just passed through like some parts that I probably shouldn't have been in. Definitely areas I should not have been in.
What's that?
Where I went in Alabama, a whole lot. It kind of looks like Isan.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
Like not Kangen City, but Kangen, where we went for the Rocket Festival.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you have that place in US?
Maybe not as nice as that town we were in for the Rocket Festival.
Yeah. Jib, you asked a great question. I took Gracie to some okay, let's see what you would probably know this. Is it the Black Sea? No, Salton Sea, right? Salton Sea in California, Yeah. It is.
It's the Mercury Pond, right?
Yes. All the fish float. They're all dead. There's friggin' crack houses everywhere, dirt roads, huge. And Gracie is like, we just left San Diego where rent is $9,000 a month. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Especially with your $50,000 friggin' stupid car.
So the Salton Sea looks like it's
crazy.
A beach, but the beach is actually fish bones. Because all the runoff, and Mike, maybe I think if I got this wrong, correct me, but I believe it was a huge inland lake made from runoff from farms, and all the fertilizer and mercury and all this stuff got into the lake, killed everything in it, and now most of it's evaporated. I think there's only like a little sliver of water in the middle.
No. There's actually plenty of water there, but it's totally gross. But the hilarious part is if you were to like Google Salton Sea, like 1950, like people would go there with boats. It was like this paradise lake in the middle of the desert, and it's gross now. totally gross now.
It used to be like it was supposed to be like the community of the future, right? Desert living.
Yeah, it was that because of course the government had a little bit to do with it. But the point is that it is just one of many, Jib, cities in the United States that is so embarrassing because it's the classic. I mean, if you've ever watched any sort of US TV lawyer shows, it's the classic example of a giant company puts like a lead factory down the drinking water line and kills all the babies.
Yeah, like Aaron Brockovich.
I watched that.
Yes, exactly.
So like West Virginia, like if you ever, like there's some beautiful spots of West Virginia. They're just not where people are because people in West Virginia are like poor coal miners. Like I remember we
oil,
like the guy with all the coal,
natural gas, sorry,
doing the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the people who live. Like remember the guy who couldn't speak because of his genetic defects because he's all inbred. That's West Virginia. They lived in the wood shack.
This is like far from what I think about American and American.
I know.
300 million people in America, right? It's like what 700 times the size of Thailand.
And West Virginia is like what 400 miles west of the capital where the president lives.
Yeah, you know what's crazy to me? West Virginia is not part of Virginia because the state split when West Virginia wanted to join the Union and Virginia wanted to stay in the Confederacy.
Right.
Like looking at it today, you would not think that. Like Northern Virginia, Nova, like all the way down to Chesapeake Bay is like super modern.
Yeah, it's true. It is a pretty big delta. You're right. Yeah, from state to state. Because I mean, like Washington, like if you leave Massachusetts and you end up, you go from Massachusetts State Turnpike all the way into New York City, all the way into New York State. Like you cross the state line, you're like, okay, it's just like a different, thing. No big difference. If you're going up through California, you go right into Arizona. It's like, okay, it's just more desert. There, when you change states, it is significant.
Actually, so you know what's a crazy part of America? North of San Francisco, all the way to Portland. Like that is like Strangeville for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if you think about it, like if they were to do it over again, right, there really should be there's North and South Carolina. There really should be North and South California.
Well, that's been proposed a few times in bills in California.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the billionaires in San Francisco actually really want to have their own society, their own economy, their own, that sort of thing. I mean, there was a time.
Right?
What's that?
They want to be Central California. They want Hollywood to the south and Stockton, no man's land to the north.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Hugh is funny here. He's like, back from my morning walk. How far did you go today, Hugh? And I find Mike giving grief to a lady very skilled with many sharp and pointy things. Want to rethink that strategy, Mike? He's not the one actor, though.
Yeah, Hugh is awesome. I love his comments.
So this is a good. So, in Europe, I saw they have IPTV, so I get European channels. It was like a month, but yeah, they started the bubbles with like the b-ball hockey here in the U.S. Actually, I think WWE was the first live event to go back to business. WWE was doing events with no crowd, and then UFC started doing events. After they had one shutdown in California, then they ended up going to Florida, then they went to Abu Dhabi for international fights, and then I think basketball was the next one to come around.
Yeah, I thought basketball. Yeah,
is the Big Three holding the league this year? Because the Big Three would be kind of easier to do it, only 3-on-3. The Big Three is very fun to watch. If you're a basketball fan, Big Three is great. But yeah, WWE without a crowd is really weird. And then they did SummerSlam where they put like computer monitors in all the seats.
Yeah.
Like logging in.
They're running, I've heard they're doing a ton of crowd noise through the PA systems now at these sporting events because there's no humans there.
Hey, Joseph, have a good night, man. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Joseph, thank you so much, man. Love your participation. Honored by it.
Thank you. And I look forward. Joseph's the one who got the shirt, right? So looking forward to seeing Joseph with the shirt.
Big time.
Ours should be here next week. So Joseph.
Really?
For us, yeah.
Cool.
They all left Kentucky. So they're all like printed in Kentucky.
Okay.
Makes sense, right? Because Nashville's the hub for all the international
FedEx.
trips.
Yeah.
So what do we? So I still think that there's more to it, and yeah, I have been digging up the rabbit hole.
Yeah. No, totally. Dude, of all people that should be doing that, Todd, dude, totally blow it off. Just pack your shit and get over here to Cambodia, dude, and go to Koh Rong and then meet Dana and I in Thailand.
Yeah.
Screw the United States news, buddy.
We're waiting for you, man. We're waiting for you. Pala Pizza. Once you click.
Yeah.
So, hi, since March, I've had a bad feeling from the movie 2012 with John Cusack.
Yeah.
When they tell you not to worry, that's what you worry. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Great movie. Actually, so funny. Jib knows essentially. If I have a question about a movie, I can ask Jib, and Jib knows.
Really?
Not true.
So the other day, I was trying to think of an actress. I was like, "Oh, babe, I couldn't think of, like, I was having a brain fart. I couldn't think of the name of the movie. I couldn't think of the name of the actress. I'm like, oh, it's like from the early 2000s. She was a singer. It's like it's an old TV show remade. She's like, oh, you're talking about Jessica Simpson from Dukes of Hazzard. I'm like, how do you get that from like no information?
Wait, Jessica Simpson was Daisy Duke?
Yeah.
When?
It's like early 2000s Dukes of Hazzard movie remake.
Oh, a movie remake. Okay, that's what all right, yeah.
So like we'll be at a movie, like, and I won't even recognize an actor, and Jib's like, oh, they were in this, this, and this. And I'm like, no. And then I'll look it up on my phone. I'm like, yeah. So like now Go more hike. Dan, I have bad news. High school football is being played in Alabama and many. Oh man, come high football. They're playing high school football. That is the one thing they like. High school sports in general, like right now, guys, just like if you're a parent and you're letting your kid play, in my opinion, right? If you're a parent and you're letting your kid play high school football or high school basketball or hockey, any team sport, you're letting your kid take too much risk, in my opinion. Professionals can do it. They're making a lot of money to take those risks. High school kids, they're not losing anything if they don't play for a season.
But to be fair, right? Here's the thing that's even really, I think, short-sighted is the fact that the children or the kids, basically, I mean, they're all under 18, effectively kids. They're probably just going to be transporters of this. They're going to bring it home. They're not going to get really detrimental. It's not going to be detrimental to the majority of them, right?
It shouldn't be, but how would you feel if your kid got sick and maybe?
Oh, I mean, come on.
Or if your kid got sick and then their grandparent passed away because they got it from the kid.
See, right? This is the real sad part about like really bad leadership, because these are the kinds of people, and again, I'm massively stereotyping, but again, depending upon the part of the country, one could argue that there are certain areas that are a little bit less educated. Let's just throw that out there. I'm not saying where you live. What's that? Yeah. And these are the people that they're probably great people. They're very well meaning, but they need to be instructed on what to do. And their leadership is probably like, oh yeah, just let your kids go to school. Don't worry about it. As long as one of them is doesn't have the cure or doesn't have the disease, that means everyone else doesn't either. Like, and I fear that it's that obtuse. But I don't know. I mean, how much worse can it fucking get? I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, so unfortunately, it sounds like they're trying to find out how much worse it can get.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if you're not making a 6-figure salary to play a sport, it's not worth the risk.
No, absolutely.
Right? On the low, I don't think there's any professional sport that has a base salary below 6 figures a year.
No, what's league minimum in hockey is like $1.60, I think.
Yeah, and so are they the lowest?
I don't know. I don't know enough about other sports. I mean, I'm trying to think like, okay, what are the other ones, right? That we would. I mean, obviously there's baseball and basketball.
I know there are fighters in the UFC taking fights at like a 15 and 15 contract. So like taking a fight for 30 grand if they win, 15 if they lose, and then to me
that's one match. That's not an annual
fight, and they might get 2 a year. So
yeah, that's tough.
It's crazy risk. But to let high school kids play, man, you're putting so many people at risk that you don't need to for something that's not gonna like even if the kid is like a star athlete who might go to university on scholarship, they're not going to lose that, right? University is going to understand, like, hey, you couldn't play this year. Were you still in the weight room? Did you still do your cardio? Like, how's your coordination?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that, but you got to remember, dude. I mean, while these students are not necessarily getting paid financially, it is a huge business bringing those kids into university. They are an asset.
But not at the high school level. I mean,
Yeah, at the high school level, dude. Before they get to college, they're being branded.
Yeah, but the high schools aren't making a ton of cash like universities are.
Most of them aren't. That's
University of Wisconsin, I think, is saying that they're going to lose 90% of their revenue over sports this year.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Overall revenue from the university, 90% of it will be gone due to sporting events.
Well, yeah, because it's a state school, so the majority of the teachers get paid by the taxes.
Yes, but actually, I think every state school in every state university in America, the highest paid employee is a coach.
Actually, no. I think the president. I know in California, San Diego State University. I think the president. Well, no, maybe not, because San Diego State's actually a pretty good. Yeah, you could be right, dude. You could be right.
No, I think I've got that wrong. So it's not every university; it's every state. The highest paid government employee, with the exception of I believe Alaska and Michigan, the highest paid employee is a coach.
Of a university.
Yeah, of a state university.
Of a state university. So they get more money than the governor?
Yeah, so most of the coaches have like 7-figure salaries.
Wow. I wonder what the governor makes. Like in California.
The governor's got like a low 6-figure income.
But he gets a shitload of perks. Like, doesn't he get, well, I can tell you, I mean, USD, obviously private school, but our president, got paid about $750,000. And he also got basically a company car, but his home was on campus, and he had staff and everything.
The community college that I went to in Rhode Island, Community College of Rhode Island, has a house, a mansion essentially for the president.
Yeah, maybe that's more common. I don't know. I mean, I know. Yeah, they have that at UMass Amherst, right?
Yeah. The one at Community College of Rhode Island was in a cool location, but it was an old fucking building. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's
all types of issues with it.
I mean, shit, it's funny. I said people, they're like, God, I went to Boston and I went to that university that everyone says is so awesome, like in Harvard Square or whatever. And man, those buildings are old. I'm like, dude, it's the first university in the goddamn country. There was Boston before there was the United States.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So Ty Doorman's talking here. If it takes a jab in the arm to travel, then put me in the front of the line, because whatever it is, there's no stopping what they want to do. So they have to live with whatever they.
And then it'll go on to the next one. It usually wraps around in YouTube.
Yeah, there we go.
Go on, yeah.
So yeah, no, whatever. If you got to get here, man, I know you're. So babe, Ty Doorman is he's got the elite visa. He just got it, and he's working his way here.
Yeah, he's going to come to Cambodia in 2 weeks.
He's going to be in Cambodia in 2 weeks, and then wait for his ability to enter.
Oh.
So he just got the elite visa.
Why don't he fly from US direct to here?
He can't, or else he would.
Yeah.
Maybe wait.
They're not allowing.
Yeah, that's why he's hoping like to be in here by October.
Yeah, wait a bit longer, and like it might be more like a easier way to come here, because if you go to country around Thailand now, it's like a more number of patients, so it's look not good.
Yes, he's going.
Well, not
islands.
Yeah, not in Cambodia. And in fact, they already have, so the charter flight actually that he's going to be coming from Phnom Penh over to Bangkok, it's Thai Smile actually, and I believe they do two flights a month. Yeah.
So go more hike. Oh, this just is getting worse and worse, man. Team outbreaks have already occurred. There will be a news story that mentions this, and then say they can't say how many students. Just like 2 games were canceled. Jesus Christ.
Is that already infected?
Yeah, they're having outbreaks at the schools on the teams. And then the news is like, oh, we can't say how many because they're kids.
Oh, That's not nice.
High school.
They can.
MO is Montana,
Missouri.
that is filing a lawsuit because fans or family can't go watch their kid. Are you kidding me? They want.
No, wait. Maybe it is Montana. What is Missouri? I lived in Missouri. St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis MO. Yeah, so yeah, Missouri.
So the parents, so the high school Blue Springs, the high school's filing a lawsuit to let the fans and family come watch the games. Do people not understand math, like scale-free network and how it applies to virus vectors? This is simple math. Simple math.
Okay.
So let me give you an idea of why this makes sense to me, especially when it's Blue Springs, Missouri. Okay, outside of St. Louis, the majority of people in Missouri, or as we called it when we lived there, misery, couldn't hack it in West Virginia. Let's just say that. The education level, it's not as bad, quite frankly, as Louisiana. I have never met so many people that never graduated from high school in one place as I did when I was in Louisiana. But like once you get out of St. Louis and you get out, in Missouri is really, they need leadership so bad, and they're probably getting zero of it, so they're making it up as they go along. It's sad.
Just imagine like so I'm assuming either the principal or the superintendent, doorman, is the one filing this lawsuit. I assume against the governor. I would have, if I was a parent in that community, I would have zero confidence in the school if I found out they're trying to sue to let fans in to watch sporting events. I mean, it's just.
What type of information that they give to the people in U.S. about this disease?
That's a good question, guys. What kind of information? Where are you getting?
They give them lies.
Yeah. What is the information you're getting?
Like why people like try to like get together, grouping, do things that stay close to each other and no mask. I don't understand.
So masks can become a political issue, unfortunately. Like you saw
because here, like after one fucked up time, then they say, okay, only this center allowed to announce the news and update the thing and update information about disease when we don't know much.
So here's one of the fucked up things. Right? We had Dr. Fauci in America, Dr. Fauci is an expert in infectious disease. He actually predicted the whole Wuhan thing. You know who he is.
I know who.
And now the Trump administration is trying to discredit their number one expert on infectious disease. So they're putting out information to say, oh, he's changed his opinion so many times, because that's what you do when you get new information, Trump.
Yeah.
You change your opinion based on new information. That's what science is. So it's so frustrating. So guys, in America, is there a centralized source of information, or is it just all muddled and fucked up?
It's all muddled and fucked up through the news.
Yeah. So Doorman, WWE and AEW had other wrestlers at ringside first, and now actually have fans, though limited. So actually, I've seen some of the WWE that I've watched online. They have like other wrestlers ringside in like their own little cubes. And then SummerSlam, they had the digital screens where the fans could log in. Boom, Doorman, here we go. This time 2 weeks I should be sitting in Cambodia. Better than the U.S., man.
Love it.
Anyone who's been on the channel for any amount of time knows my views on Cambodia. But right now, anywhere is better than the U.S. So it gets you one step closer to the big mango, my friend.
No, dude, wherever Doorman goes, it is a scumbag-free zone. Trust me.
Why don't you call Thailand as a big durian?
The big durian? Because mangoes are delicious and durians are not.
It is.
Jib loves durian. I hate it. Have you tried durian yet?
Yes, it smells like shit.
The rotting onion custard of all fruits.
Yes. Look, dude, there's a reason why when you go into a hotel, there's two signs. No smoking, no durian. Everyone else can come in, even Indians.
Yeah, even Indians. Soy dogs, no problem. Let the soy dogs in.
No, but get this freaking durian out of here.
Durians though? No. So here we go. Local news story last night about a coach that said we just go to play. Football is important. Wash hands, social distance, yada yada. From what I see on TV, not many are taking it seriously as needed. Oh my!
How can you do
Oh.
social distancing in that sport? Like
wait.
You can't.
Football is important though, right?
Just wash your hands. And then touch the football.
No.
This is the problem. These are
Yeah.
issues. Again, the understanding like the spreading of viruses there's a mathematical area of study called scale-free networking or scale-free network theory, which is what applies to a lot of this sort of infectious disease spread. It's very simple mathematics, right? And like when I hear people say, "Oh yeah, like I'll go out, there's no chance I'll get it," you clearly don't understand how this works, because every time you go out there in a community where there is infection, there is a chance of infection, which again, I think we suffered here March, April, May.
Yeah.
You know, they canceled Songkran and like they closed
Yeah,
shopping
Songkran
malls.
is like, oh, it's never happened
Yeah.
in my life. Like,
Right.
see this happen. It's like, what?
And this is how serious the government was like, all right, we're going to cancel Songkran, but we understand that people are still going to want to do it. So we're going to also ban alcohol sales immediately so that, you know, just to not give you the chance to have this shitty behavior. Because obviously drinking, driving, you know, partying, it's all a big part of that.
Yes.
And not a popular decision, and one that the government still made. So again, like props to Prayut for doing the hard thing, the not popular thing.
Yeah, people
when
get
it,
angry.
when it needed to be done though.
Yeah, and they enforced it.
Yeah, they enforced it. It's funny because I ordered wine from Villa, and I was like, like a bottle of wine from Villa. I'm like, we couldn't get delivery today, but I already paid, so I wonder if they'll still deliver it. Like, no.
No.
I'm like, oh well, at least we got the beer and the ginger beer. But yeah,
good for them.
There were people who were like seriously upset, but at the same time, foreigners, a lot of foreigners are upset, and look, pretty much every British person who comes here is an alcoholic, but pretty much every British person I know is an alcoholic. So they're drunk, not an alcoholic.
Alcoholics go to meetings.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing, right? It helped because there were people drinking and partying and having their own little private Songkran parties, and it helped.
Under arrest.
Yeah, and people got arrested. They shut down restaurants that were still serving alcohol.
Yes.
And look, again, like people suffered. Like we would order from our favorite restaurants. We would order from Pala and get delivery, even though we're outside of the delivery zone, just because like we knew we could support like restaurants that we enjoy going to. Like we have the waitresses are friendly with us. Like they'll talk to Jib about like the food and like joke with me, and you know, like those are the places we still supported. We went out and shopped at the local market and I bought fruit from the fruit uncle like every day, because he would be sitting there with like half a chest full of fruit, right? And I know if he doesn't sell it, that's money he's losing, right? So I'm eating mango like 10 times a day, you know, just to try to like help out like the local neighborhood. And other people who were in a good position did that as well, you know, and we went through the tough time. And now I think, like I said, we're in a good position compared to a lot of other places.
Did you have people lining up like literally like right out my front door? People were lined up on the sidewalk for 3 blocks down, 1011, to get food, and they were all standing. They literally spray painted red lines on the sidewalk every 2 meters. What's that?
To the temples?
No, actually, believe it or not. So you know where my condo is, right? So between there and Sukhumvit, it basically went up, and people waited every like couple meters, and then there were restaurants that had to close, and so they were still making food, and they would come out and they would give like bags of rice and food and noodles and that sort of thing.
Food.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing that I saw that was just, I thought, awesome, and I know this wasn't the only place, but it was actually like right in front of True Digital Park. They had this container, basically. It was like a giant, you know, sort of glass doors on the front, and people would come and like stock it with food. and people would drive by on their motorbike, and they would take one thing of rice and one thing of food, and they would drive away. I mean, it was so awesome to see that. No one like hoarded all the goddamn toilet paper like in the United States. They took like their meal that they needed for the evening, and then the next person came up, and then like someone, I guess from Tube Digital Park, came down, noticed it was like a third. They'd only had like a third of the food, that restocked it. I mean, it was amazing to see that.
Never once did we have a toilet paper shortage here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I was actually worried that shops were gonna sell out because all the foreigners were gonna buy toilet paper. I'm like, babe, should we buy some toilet paper? And she's like, we have bum guns in every bathroom, and we have like 20 rolls still from the last pack. I was like, yeah,
exactly. No, dude. I mean, it's just everything is really messed up. I'm glad the guys are coming here. I'm glad the guys are that want.
This is a crazy ass comment. The Big Ten College Football Conference canceled their whole season about a month ago, but several people brought a lawsuit against them to reopen the season, and the Big Ten capitulated. What the fuck?
Lawsuit? You know, they were probably season ticket holders, right? And they were like pissed that they didn't get their money's worth.
Watch football. They want to watch football, so they brought a lawsuit against a university league.
So why they don't care about the football players and all the team, the coach, the staff that have to work together, and like if someone gets sick and they just spread it around.
Because America, freedom, bald eagles and machine guns, babe.
I don't understand this.
Deep fried cheeseburgers.
You know, like here when we have like big sprayed from the Muay Thai gymnasium, so people are aware. From that point, the number is like not like increased much. Like people
none
here and like just don't do anything or follow every like a recommendation.
Yeah.
So that's how we can control it.
They actually opened up the Muay Thai pretty early here after when things got under control, and the fighters were coming out to the ring with a face shield on and getting sprayed with disinfectant.
Mm-hmm.
Right before they would get in the ring, they spray their whole body with disinfectant.
Didn't they have the people like sitting like 2 or 3 chairs apart in the audience, or did they have no audience? I can't remember what I saw.
I don't remember.
No audience.
No audience. Yeah. Okay.
Like a referee around on the stage with the
corner man.
Yeah, only corner man.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team like have to stay in like a waiting room.
So it had to be online gambling. Not that people gamble at all.
Illegal here.
Yeah, no one gambles in Thailand because it's illegal. Same thing. There's no prostitutes in Thailand because
zero.
Right?
It's illegal.
Yeah. So I remember like maybe 2 years ago, the police were like, "Oh, we went to Walking Street in Pattaya and we found no instance of prostitution at all."
So
come on.
Today because you want to talk about this?
No. I just when I said that about the gambling, I remember that. You remember that news story?
Yeah. Everyone laughed a lot about it because we all know. You know, we all know. Like,
of course.
No. You don't have to say. You know.
But the police like, no, we inspected every bar and we found no instance of prostitution at all.
That's why all those Chinese families showed up, right? They're like, oh, bring the kids.
Yeah, they were like, the police were so confident in the statement they gave to the news. They're like, absolutely zero prostitution on Walking Street.
Well, there certainly isn't any now. My God, dude. Empty.
Was Tony out of town again?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. When was I there? Was it like 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah. It was weird, dude. It was weird. I mean, it was open and there were people there, but it was eerie.
So we had Pac-12 conference saying myocarditis is too common a side effect to risk athletes' health. Good. Career. Other major conferences have caved to pressure. Greater chance of sudden heart failure is no joke. Yeah. Yeah. No. Obviously. Already, heart disease already the number 1 killer in America, right? The process waiting for entry of Thailand from the U.S. on my elite visa takes longer than if I go to Cambodia to catch a flight from there, probably. So he's playing the odds, right? I think he's just hopeful that proximity gets him in.
I thought it's like elite is like very like VIP.
Yeah, but
it is.
he got it outside of Thailand. He hasn't been here yet.
Yeah, I would submit actually that he's not playing the odds at all. I mean, in other words, he's like, okay, it'll take me this long. Because I mean, he's sent me actually some of the messages and the communication he's had with the elite program, and they're like, yeah, after like, for example, after like September 22nd, for example, you can go to the Thai embassy in Phnom Penh, and they will affix your elite visa sticker, or the 25th, or whatever it was. And so I think it's like one of those deals. Oh, maybe that's what it is. And again, I don't remember the specifics, but as an example, let's say he flies into Cambodia on the 22nd. 2 or 3 days later, i.e., he doesn't, he goes through basically the Cambodian quarantine. So he pays the $2,000. He goes to the thing. He gets the 2 tests, and ideally, no one on the plane is infected.
Yeah. And
then he gets to basically leave. And then on the 25th or something, then he goes to the embassy, gets his sticker, and then there's a company that is in charge of basically scheduling this charter flight on Thai Smile into Thailand. I'm not sure if they also take care of getting him the insurance and setting up the hotel and that sort of thing, but I believe they do provide some assistance there. It's not as sort of comprehensive as the amount of assistance I believe the long stay program is going to try and give here, where they handle your hotel booking, they give you the insurance policy, they make sure you've got everything, you're going to get a test here, they set up the appointment or something like that for the, what is it called? Fit to fly, right? And certificate of entry that you get from the embassy. So, yeah, there's a lot of help out there. And it's not that expensive.
So Dorman, did you get like the super duper elite visa with like all the perks?
No, you got the
when are you taking Mike and I golfing at Dam Young, middle of the day?
Yeah, exactly. In our free limo ride.
Our free limo ride to Dam Young to go golf in the middle of an airport.
You guys could golf. I'll get the massage treatment.
You know, when I first moved here, like 8 years ago, there was like 3 plane crashes at Dam Young in the same like 3-month period, where they all just skidded off the runway.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah. It wasn't like no one died. They just
One plane caught fire though.
The fuselage, or wasn't it one of the engines?
It was one of the engines. It caught fire like after they evacuated the plane.
Good timing.
Yeah, but like an hour later, it was like a weird thing. I remember reading about it.
Oh, nice.
Boom. This is the comment right here. Thank God for the bum gun. Damn right. Damn right.
Dude.
I didn't use the bum gun for the first like 4 years I lived in Thailand.
What?
Yeah. So
my God.
Like, I don't want my ass to be so wet.
I tried to convince him to try, but he said no.
Yeah.
No, it's a game changer.
I was out of toilet paper. I'm like, oh, I only had like a little bit of toilet paper left. I'm like, all right. And it was a mess. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this. And I was like, whoa. And I got like that, when you get that burst of warm water that comes like midstream, you're like, whoa. Now that's what I'm talking about.
This is happy ending version 2.0.
Yeah, complete game changer. I'll never go back.
No, dude, the Americans are the dirtiest assholes on the planet. For
sure. We like to rub it with the paper, yeah.
Crazy.
It's kind of odd watching TV here. I guess nobody wants to get on the record to say it's a disaster and to hunker down. Plenty of stories about how the economy is damaged, struggling to pay bills. So Thailand was too, man. You've got to, if you don't take the bumps, you're not going to come out the other end. That's the again, like I said, I've never been a huge fan of Prayu of his party, but all props to him. I mean, no one's handled this situation as well as Thailand for a reason. And he made very unpopular decisions, like to not sell alcohol before Songkran, to cancel the holiday. And you know what? It paid off, because look at us now.
Can you imagine if anyone in the United States at a leadership level, a government level, even suggested we will not sell alcohol?
Civil war.
Oh my God. Oh, big time, because they would go back to the Constitution. They'd be like, listen, there was the 13th or whatever amendment it was, and then the amendment, like 3 amendments later, that basically abolished, prohibition.
Yeah.
and they would be like, "Oh my God, we're going to rewrite the Constitution. How dare you?" I mean, it's just like,
It would. So alcohol sales were illegal in the U.S. I think for 4 years in the Prohibition era, like the 20s or the 30s. Hey, if any of you guys in the chat look up when Prohibition was.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
Ignorant ass. But yeah, so it was illegal. So this Christian group was able to lobby the government to ban alcohol sales and make it illegal, and then that led to bootleggers and speakeasies and all these things. It was actually
wow.
What?
13 years, 1920 to 1933. I had no idea.
Wow, 13 years of no legal alcohol sales in America. Many of the bourbon distilleries got reclassified as medicinal production facilities.
Right.
And you could buy bourbon to cure your cold or for the sore throat. But just like you could buy like marijuana for your ADHD, in California.
Yeah. Glaucoma. Everyone's got glaucoma in here.
Glaucoma and anxiety. So, so there was this whole thing. And so imagine if they did that again, people would go apeshit in America. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, they would be like, it's against my constitutional rights.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's work here. Like, I think no alcohol sale for like a month or 2 months, I think. Right?
Yeah.
When everything all locked down, no one can hang out. When you don't drunk, you have like, everything, like you have to protect yourself. Don't go close to people. But, here, like neighbors just hang out in someone's house. Like, okay, you pick the house and like you go stay as a group, like 10.
Yeah.
Start to drink. Maybe first it's like you drink with your own glass. And then when you get drunk, you just like kind of mess up. Drink someone else.
So you're taking shots off someone's asshole.
Well, big bum gun.
Yeah. So this is crazy. Again, Go More Hike is scaring me about America big time now. But then the news will mention we had 1,000 die yesterday in the U.S. and about 800 new infections in Alabama. And 10 seconds later, they're doing the weather.
Yeah, it's just another statistic, dude.
I think at this point, people should be very concerned about this situation more than like sport. Like, oh, we like to go to stadium and watch a sport.
Oh my God!
What's up?
Hugh just sent us 3,000 baht.
Wow.
Hugh. Yeah, because this is. I'm not going to show his real name.
Yeah.
It's all blown out anyway. Oh, there it is. 3,000. Wow, man. Thank you so much. And we can still see.
Thank you. Right? Did you? I'm sorry. Anyway.
Hugh, thank you so much. And wow,
I think it's Hugh. I apologize if it's not, but I think it is.
So it's going to make a huge difference to the village. Thank you so much.
Oh, for school?
Yeah. And like I said, we plan to record maybe next week or the week after. We'll record an episode with Jib where we break down everything and. We'll put it all out there for you guys to understand, like all the challenges. Thank you so much. Wow,
that's huge, dude.
So
we're sending you a T-shirt, buddy.
Yeah, only the 5-year. Dead to us.
Only.
No golf. What the?
So that way, when he meets us, he'll be like, "Look, guys, I got no more money. You got to buy the pizza."
Yeah, I'll buy the pizza. Any excuse to go to Pala.
Absolutely, yeah.
And with the Elite Visa, I'm also able to apply for any type of e-visa for Cambodia because they were offering it to retirees, but I don't think they are now because of the changing in the specs on it for the Cambodia. Go more. I'm getting depressed every time I click Go More Hike. So I'm afraid to read them. Many businesses are taking serious though, masking up, hand sanitizer, social distancing, telecommuting full-time if possible, or an alternate telecommuting like 2 days in the office, 3 days remote. That's good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, a former client of mine was doing everyone was forced to close their office here, and they cut everyone's pay by like half.
Oh, you mean that company?
That company.
Okay.
And so they were making people work remotely and then log into Zoom meetings like 20 at a time. So one supervisor could watch 20 people working in front of their computer on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine having so little trust in the people you pay that you have to have them log into Zoom so you can watch them work?
Trust me, leadership is hard to define unless it's not there.
So yeah, and so now that same company is making every employee put a deck together to justify their job because they can't afford to keep everyone on.
A PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, that's the first sign I'm out. PowerPoint, gotta go.
Yeah, what did we say? Like the first day that we started doing Bangkok Strange, no PDFs, no PowerPoint. Yeah.
And I know what's going to happen. The managing director, she'll hold a meeting and have everyone pitch in front of everyone else. And then she'll critique your deck in front of everyone and belittle you.
On Zoom.
No, they're back in the office in person now, so she'll make them do it all in person.
Oh, God. I don't know, dude. I mean,
I'm sure her and her husband are giving themselves bonuses and raises while they're cutting everyone's salary by 50%.
Yeah, well, Thailand's not the only place that does that. You know that.
So.
Oh, wait, hold on. You keep talking. I got to check on something. It's raining like crazy. Hold on.
All right. Tell us some more about the Hill Tribe. How long have they lived there? Forever.
Yeah, forever. Like their ancestors lived there. They're kind of like a mix of Thai and Karen.
Yeah.
Like some walk from Burma.
Yeah.
Yeah. They speak Karen.
Yeah. So there's definitely. So when we were there before, when the kids would talk to the teacher's name is Krusom, and there used to be a teacher named Kru A, but he runs another school now.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, they're from like Mekonsong. Yeah. How do you say the name of the town? Mekonsong? What?
Mae Hong Song.
Mae Hong Song.
Mae Hong Song.
So the teachers, both the teachers are from Mae Hong Song, and Kru Som is beautiful. She looks like a very northern girl, right? Like a really kind of caramely, light skin, freckles, curly hair.
Yeah.
Very unique looking woman, and her husband is very Thai looking. And the way he looks, kind of cool guy. And then Kru A looks very Thai as well. So Kru A is did Mike bounce out of here? Oh, I think he shut his camera off. He'll be back. I still see him in the bottom of the chat. So Krusom is they from the city. And then Jib was able to connect with them through one of someone from your master's program or undergrad?
From Mahidol.
From Mahidol.
When I study master, I play badminton for postgrad team.
Yeah. So it's one of your teammates. And so they so that's how we connected with them the first time we were trying to do some charitable work. And it's really it's a unique part of the culture. One of you guys shared with us the link last time of the current people with the neck rings. Mm-hmm. So they're the same current type of people, but they're different type of tribe or a different tribe altogether. It's a different part of Thailand.
So they all have the same name, Kern, but like different tribe, different like dress style. You will see the different.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and up in this hill tribe, they wear more of like a woven kind of cotton cloth. You bought one of the bags last time, right?
Oh, the girl gave me.
Yeah, she gave you that.
Thank you.
And but yeah, so they have like some hand woven fabric. But yeah, the Karen with the neck rings, they're in Chiang Rai area, which is different than it's far away from Chiang Mai. And different, but I don't even know if they speak the same language.
Maybe
similar. But the current language itself is quite different than Burmese.
I don't know.
Yeah. Burmese, so I went to, when I was at Thammasat, there were some Burmese students, and their language is incredibly different than current language from what I remember, and the way they just like the tones and the sounds that they use quite different, whereas current sounds a lot more like Thai than Burmese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The sounds, not similar, but sounds.
Yeah.
You know, like the phonetics that
Maybe
they
they
use.
like adapt to like Thai more than
Yeah,
Chinese,
and so it's
as they live here.
and so they technically learn in Central Thai, right?
Not really. Like, remember, no aunties or grannies there talk to me
Yeah, but I don't
at
think
all.
they had schools. Grannies were
They walk around. They give me a smile, big
yeah
smile,
don't speak.
but
Yeah,
don't speak at all. Not even say hi to me in
yeah,
Thai. They
that's
just
true. Yeah,
smile.
so yeah, but the kids, I mean, the kids learn in Central.
Yeah, kids
Right?
learn because they have Kusum there.
Yeah,
Imagine no teacher in the village, and how they're gonna learn because
yeah,
their parents, their grandparents don't really like speak Central Thai. So
yeah,
it's kind of like difficult for them when they go downhill and try to, get education or get help.
yeah. And so there's another issue that some of them, when they're born, they're just born in the village,
Oh yeah.
and the parents don't bring them. In Thailand, you have a Thai ID,
Mhm.
and you have to be registered at birth to get the Thai ID. So, as a Thai citizen, you have access to social programs and all these other things. But if your parents are just like, it's a 20-kilometer walk. I just pushed a 4-kilo kid out of my vagina. I'm not going to make that walk today.
Or they can't afford it, right? Yeah.
Or they can't afford it. No ID for you.
It's like you don't have to pay for that registration. You just like if you live
Well,
far away from the city, you have to uh just inform your head of villager
Yeah.
who like like a big brother in the village that like
hmm.
okay have baby
Yeah.
boy or girl and what name, and then that guy has to go downhill, go to like kind of
Like government office.
yeah government office or head of the district there and register for that
Mm.
family. And it's free.
Go more hike. Absolutely. I would be, and so would Mike, be working on a video loop to beat that. Have they ever tried to raise goats? I don't know. I didn't see any goats there. And Thais
No.
don't generally eat goat.
Go to
I think he asked us this last time because of the hills. He had I
Okay.
think it was, similar vision to the U.S. where they have those really rocky, right, mountains where the goats live.
I think for their culture they don't eat goat
Yeah.
milk or meat.
Yeah.
So they have like a pig, chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
A cow. I think we see cow.
Yeah, we saw
there.
cows on the road running the truck off the road, remember? So yeah, actually we should convince Mike to buy a drone since he's the one who goes to all the islands and can actually fly it, and then he can get footage while we go up the mountain.
Oh yeah.
I'm a Bangkokian, right? I have no use for a drone. They're illegal to fly in the city.
Yeah, you cannot fly here.
It's funny. There's this new guy actually that's been doing videos, and he obviously spent a ton of cash on like gear, and he's got like 305 subs, and he's got like a drone and all the gear and everything. And I was thinking about that today. I thought, I wonder, like, if we can maybe even rent one of those amazing ones, like the kinds that like the film production crews use, like they're this big,
Yeah.
and like just go over the whole thing, because I don't think there's going to be any way. I mean, you're a good photographer, but I don't think there's going to be any way we're going to be able to describe appropriately what this place looks like, the amount of time that's going to take us to get there. I mean, what's that?
The remoteness.
Yeah, I mean, and to be able to get an overview of that, I think really will bring it into perspective. Like you'll see like the one road. Before I forget, how many kids there do not have IDs?
Oh, probably half.
What?
How many kids don't have ID?
I don't know.
Thai ID.
Many.
Yeah, like I would say half, maybe more.
Because like their parents like just they don't know, they don't care. Maybe their parents
I know
have that, and so with that they don't know like they need it, like their kids need it. It's just like okay.
So would we be offending them then if we tried to convince them to get it?
No, so
would
their
be
parents have to do it. Like,
Their parents have to do
Yeah.
it, and like actually you have to do it like within a month, if I'm not wrong. Like you have to report that
yeah,
after birth, like not over a month. And imagine
otherwise
like
you don't have one for the rest of your life.
yeah. So you're just
you have,
gray
maybe
area.
you have to pay fine for that, like because when baby was born, like it has to be reported. Like, well, if you live in a city, it's like hospital will do that for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that paper.
You pop the kid out in the hospital. They're like, okay, what's the
What
name? Yeah,
time,
what time?
parents
Sign the invoice.
Yeah, assign the invoice. But you're born out in the village, right?
no one
no
knows.
dice. Yeah,
Like if you don't report that, no one know if this kid is Thai
yeah.
or just cross the border, walk across.
Is
the
this
border.
preventing these kids from having proper health care?
Yeah.
That's my concern.
Yes.
Yes.
We gotta figure out a solution to that.
Patient.
Yeah.
That's
If you go downhill to like bigger school and
yeah.
ID, then they will ask like, where you from?
Yeah.
Who's your parents? Like, where do you live? Like, nothing to say like, who is he?
Yeah.
No record, nothing.
It's a
just
big
like,
loophole in their system for sure.
yeah, it's a big problem for people from hill tribe to like for adult to get a job, like they don't have ID card, they cannot have like
Social Security.
social security, cannot have the bank like ATM card,
Yeah.
cannot like for the healthcare, nothing.
Nothing.
They cannot, and like if police see them, they can arrest. Like,
Yeah.
who are
Joe,
you?
were you illegal immigrant?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a fun question, Jib. Have you ever been to the Philippines? What did you think?
Well, I've been there one time
Yeah.
in a nice area. What name is that?
Well, relatively nice to the rest of.
Makati.
She didn't go to Boracay.
No, we went to we're in Manila for a white collar boxing event.
Okay.
So, my friend Bev, the Diesel Diva, if you check her out on Instagram, Diesel Diva, Jib's got her shirt on. She is
Nice.
We were at her 60th birthday party in Phuket. Bev had just turned 60, and she doesn't look a day over like 45. She's pretty young looking. She
Asian.
keeps herself in great shape. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. She's a woman's. She was Jib's trainer for Women Empowered, which is a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu program for self-defense. And so we're at her 60th birthday. We're all at this villa. We're sitting in this gorgeous pool down in Surin Beach in Phuket. And Bev's like, I think I'm gonna fight either MMA or boxing this year before I'm 61. Like, what? But like we're literally at your 60th birthday party. We just ordered food for the big celebration tonight, and you're like yeah, you're in great shape, but like you're like, you want to fight? She's like, yeah, why not? She's like, I've never done it. She's like, I want to do it so I understand it more. I'm like, yeah, Bev, you can do anything that you want. Like I have no doubt about that. So that's awesome. So she used to live in Bangkok, which is how we know her, but she works for an NGO in Manila. So she moved to Manila like right before her birthday. And so like maybe like 4 months go by and she sends us the thing. She's like, guys, book this date to come to Manila. She's like, I'm fighting in a white collar boxing match at the Shangri-La Hotel in Makati.
That's a nice one. Shangri-La's nice.
So we're like, all right, done. This black tie, they call it the black tie, black eye.
Yeah.
Black tie, black eye. So I got to talk. Jib made a dress. I invited my buddy Troy, who's the CEO of Globish, to come out and meet us because he was in Vietnam for meetings already. So him and his girlfriend flew out. It was a great night. And Bev, at 60-year-old, she fought like a semi-professional 30-year-old rugby player.
Wow.
Like, it was just like an amazing night. Then we all hung out and we chilled and just relaxed like afterwards. It was such a good time. There's like a bunch of like well-known, like famous professional fighters from Asia were there at the event, and it was a charity thing as well. So like we sat at the table with all her colleagues, like right ringside, and like actually when she came out, like I was like, all right, fuck this, I'm not sitting at the table. We went right up ringside at the back of the walkway to get up, and like one of her coworkers was like, "Oh, they're gonna stop us." Like, they're not gonna stop us. Let's go.
Who can stop you?
Yeah,
All right,
so-
Jib. I actually hold on. I gotta have you answer something. This is I'm.
Oh, Mike froze.
What happened?
Right as he's about
It's
to
like-
ask the
It
question.
sounds like important question, and then it just stopped. Like,
is Mike trolling us?
yeah, is that
I guess is Mike frozen for you guys because he's frozen for us.
maybe electric?
Yeah, so maybe
Signal.
his electrical went out again because he did say it's raining. So we'll give him a minute. He might have to jump onto 4G. So anyway, Jib, what did you think of Manila when we were there, or the Philippines?
That part of the city I like.
Yeah.
It's like Bangkok, nicer.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, Bangkok's nicer for sure.
No.
You think
that part-
Makati's nicer?
Yeah,
Oh, I wouldn't
Makati
say
is
that.
nicer. Like you see the footpath there.
Yeah, actually, they have nice footpath. We do not have footpaths here. Yeah, so guys, Mike bounced from the thing. I'm sure he'll be back. So we'll just keep. Oh, he's already back. Here we go. Boom. His video is loading. Oh, his power's out.
Yeah, the power went out. So I had to tether to my phone, and I got my battery pack. But before, can you read? Damn it! Hold on. I need to answer this PayPal question, and basically they're just asking me, "Hey, did
It's
you
like,
log
I
in?"
gotta ask you this question, and then you drop.
I know. I know exactly. How great is that? Okay, hold on. Wait. Thank you, Hike. I just got your thing. All right, can you? All right, yeah. Hold on. Let me turn it down.
Is that you?
Can you screenshot it and line it to me?
Yes, I can. Let me do that. Basically, it's just asking me, "Hey, dude, did you?" I can't screenshot it because it's PayPal. Hold on. Let me see.
Is that you?
Yeah. Which one do I want to choose? What is the bigger one? Yes, or is the bigger one no?
The bigger one is no. The small one is yes.
Small one is yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it's like some like serious question.
So.
Yeah, quick security check. All right, wait. You can't even. Hold on. How do I get myself to show up? I didn't think it would last this long. It came on. Let's see. What if I do this?
Yeah, put the
Ah!
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the battery of my other phone, so that's not going to last for long.
So Hugh says, already bought the Bangkok Strange coffee mug, but the clothing isn't my style. Can only use so many coffee mugs. Now a high quality Panama style hat for the tropics. Count me in. My Arizona hat is good.
We do need to do that.
So yeah, I looked through some of the options the other day on Teespring. For what we have there, there's not any hats.
Ha!
Oh, power's back.
Love Thailand. Yeah.
Remote Island already has power back. So Hugh, we will expand the merch in the future. And guys, again, BangkokStrange@gmail.com. If you have merch ideas or suggestions, let us know because we'll definitely explore it. And like Mike and I were talking about, like a lot of but we lost Mike. Oh, he's gonna come back to the other phone. A percentage of everything that we sell on the merch shop will go to the village, will go to other projects that we're doing. And, that's a big part of this for us is just doing good and paying it forward. Okay, do they plant by hand or use an ox and plow? There is no ox or plow up in the mountains, Go More Hike. So they plant everything by hand. They harvest everything by hand.
Because the soil is very sharp. Like
Yeah.
you cannot use any like machine.
Yeah, and they're planting the rice up on the mountain.
Yeah, it's like
It's cut into
like
the mountain.
this slope, and they have to plant all the rice there.
Yeah.
Walk up there and harvest, and then
Yeah.
walk down.
And carry it all. And then,
Yes.
so I didn't see, when we were there, we didn't see the rice mill, did we?
No, they don't have it.
Oh, so they bring it somewhere else to mill it.
No, they just bring to the house and
Okay.
they smash it.
Oh, by hand. They smash the rice by hand.
Hmm.
So they don't even have a rice mill. So
you
they,
think how much the cost of fuel to like drive downhill with 2 bags of rice?
yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah,
So why don't they just like smash it?
yeah. That's it. And they're already growing like a lower quality rice down there. So yeah, up there, I should say. But yeah, so there's no plow, there's no ox. And like I believe Crusoe told us that they don't eat the animals that they raise. They use that for trade, right?
Mm.
So they're trading it maybe to like as a dowry or something else.
Something
When they raise them, so they're not eating the pigs or the
they don't eat
cows.
like
Yeah,
every day, but it must be like special day
yeah,
or like some special thing that they gonna eat that animal.
yeah. So it's very rare, and like even the chickens, they don't eat the chickens; they're just for the eggs.
Mhm.
So Hugh asks, "What? Sorry. What is the amount? What amount is the fine for the rightful citizenship papers, please?"
Yeah, exactly. Let's
So
get
what
that
does it
done, dude.
cost? What does it cost to get like the kid? Like if a kid's like 8 or 14, what does it cost to go prove that he's a citizen to
The
pay the fine?
proof is like you have to have like a head of a village
Okay.
to say that this boy was born here
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
and
like affidavits, effectively.
like parents are Thai, like or like live here,
Hmm.
stay here, and there must be like head of village and like the government
Mm.
officer, like who work in the district office
Hmm.
type of. But from what I know, it's very difficult to prove or to get proof,
Yeah.
approve all the process, because many kids still out there no ID.
Also, I don't want to say that some Thais are racist, but when it comes to
Yeah.
when it comes to Burmese people, there's not a positive ethnic outlook on them by a lot of Thais, wouldn't you say?
Well, it might be the same thing for
Up there, they probably are pretty accepting.
like what do American look at Thai that
As the greatest country in the world.
go to US and cannot really speak English.
Yeah, but we come here and we can't
Hmm.
be Thai, so we can't be judgmental.
No, but I know what she's getting at. A lot of Americans, if you don't
Like
speak English, they think you're an
there's
idiot.
like the note from the customer in Thai restaurant that write down on a napkin and pass it to the I don't know staff at the counter who of course Thai,
Yeah,
and like as they talk to each other behind the counter they speak Thai,
yeah,
and the owner is like yes he's Thai
yeah.
but he lives there I don't know maybe 30 years on
Mm.
the restaurant, and as we Thai we speak Thai when we talk to each other not to customer, and that person write down on the napkin
Yeah.
like if you like I cannot like remember
It's probably like
exact
we
like
speak American in America.
like you
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
speak learn how to
Very
speak
racist.
English when you live in
It's
America.
a funny thing. There's no official language in America, so like you don't have to speak English.
There's no official leadership either.
There's no official leadership. So you know that Puerto Ricans are American citizens,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
most of them don't grow up speaking English.
So
But I think to Hugh's point, the point is that unfortunately we can't just throw money at this. But we need to figure out a solution.
not about money.
It's a
just-
loophole issue, really, and we got to figure
Yeah.
out help with process, maybe.
I completely agree. The registration drive, I love it.
Try to like make parents know how important
Yeah,
to register the kid.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, go more like idea, a registration drive, like a motor vote program, a
Totally.
clinic for the village for medical checkup, and issue IDs. So I don't know that's necessarily can issue an ID. There's some like you said, it's an affidavit, like
Yeah.
head of village. Like we got to figure when we're up there, we'll try to figure that process out and then take steps to address that. Because again, there's a plethora of government programs and resources that they are missing out on through this.
Do you remember many years ago that there is a boy who like he's from a tribe but
Mm.
study in like a
It's about the
school.
doctor.
No, he's like one like something like a paper airplane fly,
Oh yeah.
and then like he needs like a passport to go to Japan
Yep.
for the next step of the tournament.
Yep.
And like a government do something about like get like a special document or something to like allow him to go out of the country.
Yeah.
And when he come back, I think he won,
Yeah.
but it's many years ago. So maybe
Yeah, I
I'm wrong.
remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they said we promised you that we will make you Thai, like have like they will give like a
Thai
ID card, yeah.
citizenship, yeah.
And now he worked in university, but still no ID card.
Still no idea. Yeah, he's still a foreign employee,
Yeah.
which is probably better for
He's
him. He
like
probably
on
makes more
TV.
money.
You know,
Yeah.
he's on TV,
Yeah.
national TV, and like that time, I'm not sure if the prime minister or minister of some, you know, promised him to make him like 100% Thai.
Go More Hike wants to know, do they use metal tools, rake, garden hoe, machete? Definitely. I saw machetes when we were up there for sure.
Yeah.
I saw not necessarily rake and not what they call a sickle, not a sickle, but there's something that they use to. It's like a curved machete to chop the rice.
Yeah.
I think it's called like a bolo in the Philippines, but it's got an arc to it.
Yo.
Kiao.
Yeah. No, bolo's fat, right? This looks more like
Thinner.
This is.
Does it have the hook at the top?
It's not this, but it's similar and it's more pronounced curve.
Yeah. I actually saw one of the guys walking around here with it. I think they use it to like chop down trees or something.
Yeah. So same thing. So yeah, they have that. They have machetes. I didn't see rakes. I didn't see plows. They must have hand
They
plows.
must have somewhere.
Yeah, and shovels. I saw shovels.
We don't walk around and
Yeah.
look in people's
Yeah.
house because they have like a different culture,
Yeah.
different
Privacy is different there as well. Yeah.
So I don't want to do anything that annoying or
Yeah.
break any rules that I don't know.
A lot of their houses are like open. So
Yeah.
So like you
don't
like,
just walk in.
Try not to look in and be like, oh, what's going on? It's just like one room with like thatch flooring. But yeah,
I bet it's going to be the biggest difficulty with this ID thing is actually going to be convincing the parents that it's a priority over everything else they have to do in their lives just to survive.
Not to make parents understand. So I hope like this generation, the kid that I saw, that I met, will know the important thing and like how important of ID.
I think another like one of the other things, like the first thing we noticed when we got to the village was how much trash is on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Despite the fact that it is like a pristine natural environment.
Yeah.
Influence from 7-Eleven, from Tesco, because there's just candy wrappers and chip bags all over the ground.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, like the parents' culture, the grandparents' culture was always everything they used was biodegradable, right?
Yep.
So you wrap your lunch in the banana leaf. When you're done eating your lunch, you toss the banana leaf into the rice paddy, and you've got fertilizer. Well, you can't do the same thing with a foil chip bag. And you can tell that they just don't realize that, because even I remember I was walking through town, through the village, and it's literally just one road like 100 meters long, but I saw an old auntie eating a bag of like the fish treats, like the fish flavored things, and she just threw the plastic bag out the side of her hut, and it just landed on the ground. And so there's clearly and for people who value nature so much, they obviously have a misunderstanding about that. The difference is that you see the kids going around picking trash up.
So teacher teach students or the kids about like what not to do, and like she try to ask them to pass that knowledge to the family,
but
because they hard. The kid. But as a Thai culture, they're not really like follow.
I'm older, I'm right.
Yeah, sure. No, and the students are not going to like tell their parents they did something wrong.
Yeah. But so like you see that the kids will pick trash up, but there's just so much of it. Like literally, it looks like when you first enter the village, there was like a low point on the road, and it looks like that's just paved in trash.
Can we burn it?
You can't burn plastics. Well, you
can.
Well, you can,
but you should not.
Yeah.
So
you can, but you shouldn't. But I mean, if there's a small amount of it and the wind blows enough.
You packed it up, like pack in the bag, and when someone go downhill, you just take it.
Okay.
Ask them to take it and drop it at the proper trash bin in town.
Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely things like that one, I'm sure it would just add a ton of like just quality back to the village. But again, it's figuring out what to do with it. Maybe even like someone in Thailand, in Bangkok, they have like, they call them informal trash pickers. Like the people you see rummaging through like the klong, picking up bottles, going through your trash, taking out your plastic. So there are places that will buy the trash. I don't know if they have them up there in that village, but maybe it can be someone's thing to, every once a year they've got so much they can get like 1,000 baht.
Not
I have a feeling that once we go up there, there's going to be a ton of data gathering.
Yes.
And
like you're right,
yeah.
because we're again, I saw so many things that no, they're not vegetarians. Not at all. They eat the rat the kid killed. They eat that. Yeah, but they don't eat the animals that they raise. Yeah, they eat fish.
And they can get like a freshwater shrimp, like small one under the rocks in the river there.
Don't eat freshwater shrimp in Thailand though.
They cook.
Yeah.
If you cook it, it's okay, but don't eat it fresh.
So some people, they call it dancing shrimp salad, which is live shrimp.
I would say don't eat it.
Yeah, it's full of parasites. But they put lime on it. They put was it lime, MSG, and chili powder, and they eat.
Love MSG.
Burn.
Yeah, and then you just get tons of parasites.
Yeah.
But if you're like my friend Bareback Walsh, the parasites are the least of your issue because you're barebacking prostitutes. You know he does.
Can you tell that?
Sure, why not?
Online?
Why not? Bareback Walsh is a legend.
99 cents at a time.
Yeah. So like I said, the parasites are the least of his worries. He loves the dancing shrimp salad. Yeah, don't eat dancing. If you come to Thailand, we'll do a whole episode on food. And actually, Mike, I think we should do a vlog series on like hot street food spots.
Do we want to tease the first series we're going to do about the?
No, let's get it shot. Let's get it shot first, and then we'll tease it.
All right, that's cool.
We got some content planned when Mike makes his way back to the Big Mango. Jim is saying we should call it the Big Durian. I think
only if we're near a landfill will it smell the same.
We should call it the Big Mangosteen. I love mangosteen. Go more hike. Laughing.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you like mangosteen, Mike?
I don't know if I've ever had it. What is it? I may have, but I don't know what it is.
Small purple skin. You break it open, has a white flesh inside. It tastes very bitter.
It's not bitter. It's sweet.
I was gonna say it's like a grape, but like with a.
Not good.
It's still good.
No.
Is it like a grape? Is it like a white grape inside with a huge seed?
It's like 10 times the size of a grape.
Yes.
No, you're thinking of rambutan. You're thinking of rambutan.
With the spikes?
Yeah.
That's rambutan.
That's different.
Yeah. Then I guess I haven't had mangosteen.
Yeah. When is it it's not in season right now, right?
Not now.
No, maybe a couple more months after the rainy season.
Next year.
Yeah.
After the okay.
Yeah.
It's come with durian.
Yeah.
Same time.
I can eat. Yeah. They call it. So durian's the king of fruit. They call mangosteen the queen of fruit.
Durian is no.
Yes.
So Thais will tell you that if you eat durian, it's not a problem for you, Mike. But they'll tell you if you eat durian and drink beer, you'll die instantly.
It's just like rumor,
Yeah.
Just like
interesting.
It's just like story that people keep say like, oh, someone said this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So when I was like first year PhD, a bunch of us were out and they had durian chips on the table. So it's like really like unripe durian that they shaved and then they deep fry it.
Who are these people? Oh, Jesus Christ.
We were drinking like Singha or Chang, whatever like the cheapest beer was at this like some shop.
Right.
And they're like, like one of the Thai people was like, don't eat the chips because you're drinking beer. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, if you eat anything durian and drink alcohol, you'll die.
And I'm sure you did it right in front of him, right?
Yeah. So of course you tell me that. What am I gonna do? I'm like,
right.
I'm gonna eat this durian chip and I'm gonna drink a whole bottle of beer. And like, I'm not dead. He's like, no, you could die. We should go to the hospital. I'm like, you're a PhD student. You believe this? Like, come on.
I should show you some of the Coca-Cola I drank when I was in fucking Cambodia.
Yeah, right. Actually, if you can survive street curry in Cambodia, they serve curry with French bread there with little baguettes. If you can survive that, you're good.
Survive it because it's too spicy or because it's got friggin' amoeba in it?
It's because I'm sure, like when I had it, every time I ate it, it was delicious. And because it comes with these and the baguettes are really yeasty and crusty. So it's like a really interesting combination. But every time I would eat it, I get sick. But it was so good. I'm like, I'm just going to eat it again and just take more carbon.
Yeah, well, that was my theory with alcohol for years. I'm getting sick, but if I just ingest more of it, I should be good. No durian in the United States. Though.
Yeah. Well, they have durian in the U.S. It's expensive. It's like $60 a durian, though.
I've never seen it. And again,
in markets they sell it frozen.
Oh yeah. It's frozen. Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's right.
About how many people are in the Hill Tribe village? At that village that we go to, it's less than 50 for sure.
No, many more than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because there was like 20 kids. And it just seemed like all the parents were away, and it was just like the aunties and uncles.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, that's a part of that. But like, if you count like everyone who like lives there,
so maybe everyone who considers it home.
Yeah, about like maybe it's can be 100.
100, yeah, but I think
we don't see all add out.
Yeah,
because they work somewhere else.
Yeah, so not everyone lives. Like I would say, when we were there was less than 50 people residing in the village. But like Jib said, there could be more than 100 total. But a lot of the parents have to work, and so they leave the kids with the granny or with uncle, auntie.
Yeah,
and they go work doing construction. They go work at the gas station. Whatever, smuggling heroin from Myanmar. Whatever it is they have to do to
in their butt.
What's that? No, I think they just carry it. So
over their shoulder.
So Crew A told me when I was there that it's not uncommon for heroin smugglers to come through that village. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Jib is denying, but it's very true. So I'll pull Jib more into frame. Yeah, so Crew A, the younger teacher, told us that heroin smugglers, and actually the boy who had thalassemia, his mother was an opium addict, and
is she dead?
I think she died.
Not yet.
Who did they have to? Didn't they build a new house for that boy because they don't believe in living in houses where people died?
I cannot remember that.
If it was him or not. But anyway, so her husband is from Myanmar. He's an opium smuggler. Smuggles opium in Thailand, and that footpath that goes from all these villages, cuts through theirs, goes back to between Myanmar. That's part of that route to smuggle opium in. So that's all part of the network there. But yeah, was it his mom who was?
So you want to disappear? That's why you tell about this story?
No, the opium smuggling strange. So, but was his mom the opium addict or someone else? I think it was his mom, right?
No.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like take care of.
It doesn't take care of him. Yeah, and that's why the teacher Crew saw him, like she's the one who takes him to get his blood transfusions.
Yeah.
Like she pays out of pocket the 12,000 baht a year. This is like a woman who she has a baby of her own. She's married, and she makes 15,000 baht a month, and she's paying 12,000 baht a year for this boy's medical expenses.
All right, here's the deal. This is how much we have right now in the account. Because there was already something in there, and I just added it to it. So nice. 5,700. Okay. So basically, we need 7,000 baht to be able to pay for this. So we gotta have a couple of things. I think we need to have like medical related, specifically to this kid, but then other things. Because there's no way I'm gonna fucking punish this kid because his mom's hooked on dope.
Yeah.
And then we got it because the stuff that Hugh sent us he said specifically for the solar project. So I think that's awesome. I think if we just keep it to those two, right? Because otherwise it'll get really complicated, especially until we get back.
I'll say I would put it this way: anything over for the solar project, we just spend on additional stuff for the school.
For the school, yes, absolutely, I agree. But I think we also probably should have a separate bucket for, because I can tell you right now, dude, if we were going to go up there tomorrow, I'm giving this fucking chick 12,000 baht.
Yeah, for sure.
So
we both have already said we're going to be holding David's feet over the coals for driving to put some support here.
Yeah, if for no other reason than I already know how much extra money they have.
Yeah. Time to we're going to flex our board positions.
Yeah. It's going to be like, so I know how much extra money you have in the coffers, dude, because of white guy.
Yeah.
But,
well, 30,000 baht won't kill you, David.
No, absolutely not. That's for sure.
Yeah. So the other thing is, we're going to ask, we asked the teacher to like maybe record some videos with the kids to say hi and stuff. So when we get that, I don't know when the next time she'll be online is. So can we do that with kids under 18, or is that a fucking weird thing? That's a good question.
It is in the U.S. I don't know if they give a shit about it here. I mean, we're broadcasting in the U.S., so obviously,
it's like,
but
if like kids okay to do that,
yeah, it's
fine. But if you like
if you're like a scumbag from Cambodia,
well,
and
yeah.
on PL, that's a no.
If you take take other kid photo and you sell it or you post it and that's not your kid and they're not allowed, that's wrong.
Yeah,
that would be my concern, is that someone might also potentially interpret it like we're manipulating children for our own financial gain.
Yeah, this is not for our financial gain.
Obviously, we're not, but I'm sure how some asshole could potentially do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, like, and maybe, like I said, she said she's gonna. I sent you some photos the other day, some cool photos of the kids.
Well, we can always just do the, mask out the face. I mean, the point is seeing what's occurring, not necessarily the child. Yeah.
And I think, and obviously, when we get, I'm hoping we can do this trip December, January. Like, that would be fantastic if we can get to that point by then.
Cold to death there.
It'd be freezing up there then.
Well, right, but isn't that when we sort of have to go just so we can get up the hill? Like, what is the absolute best time?
Probably
temperature and
absolute best times like December to February. It's risky to go, I think, April or later.
April is okay. But hot.
But we don't know when rainy season is actually going to start now because of the weather change.
It can rain like May.
Yeah.
Or June.
So I think if we can go December, January, or February, that's ideal. And it's our best chance to get up and get down without issue.
Yeah. It's a dirt road.
Right.
It's a dirt road. So like if it could rain in April, it could start raining and the road could just wash away.
And March is not. What about March?
I think March is okay, but it might be hot, too hot for you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I would much rather have heat over cold. If it's cold up there.
So you don't understand, like, it's not.
You don't have a fan.
Yeah, it's not tropical heat. There's no fan. There's no air con, and not just that. Like, so they have a song they sing at school, right? About like living in the hills, and at the schools there, the kids sing this song. It's actually a beautiful song. There's a video of it. Jib showed me before, and I literally wanted to cry. But they're talking about like, people forget about us in the hills, and you don't understand that when it's cold, it's fucking cold. And when it's hot, it's fucking hot. So they actually, like, it gets down to 1°C there at night in the wintertime. And in the summertime, their temperatures peak above 40. And with like 100% humidity.
Oh, I don't know about summer there, like
April.
How hot?
Kuwait's only over 40.
Then don't go.
Wait, there's no fans? Why don't they have fans?
No electricity.
No electricity.
They have
like
solar, but small ones.
Yeah,
and how can you run the fan?
Like I showed you the photos of the broken panels and the corroded.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And no battery storage.
No batteries.
They were storing, without an inverter. They were just hooking stuff up to a lead acid battery that looked like about 20 years old. like what do they used to call those Duramax back in the day?
It's a car battery.
Yeah, it's an old car lead acid battery.
So I would suggest you go there in the winter better than
Yeah.
summer.
So yeah, there's but yeah, I think that there's definitely going to be some there's going to be but you're frozen on me, Mike. Did Mike guys, I'm sure you can see Mike is frozen yet again. I think maybe he I'm wondering if he lost power again.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because we will have a storm, big one.
Yeah.
It will hit Bangkok tomorrow.
So he's already getting it down in Koh Phangan. Koh Phangan.
Phangan.
Koh Phangan.
Got Phangan.
So guys, yeah, I think what will happen is that Mike and I will end up learning a lot about future projects that we can do, obviously, but everything is school related in the village for the most part. You know, things like the ID program, we can definitely work on something like that because that helps the school. Because the more Thai citizens that the school has going there, people who are registered, the more funding they can actually get. So yeah, Mike just dropped out. I'm sure he's going to be coming back on his phone in a minute. So like everything, like our goal is that everything we do is around the school, and through the engagement with the school, that betters the community long term, as opposed to just throwing cash at the Hill Tribe Village. You know, we want to put cash into the school, let them understand solar, get them a solar system, but also let them understand how to fix it, work on it themselves, you know, get them, you know, more books, more access, like the ID cards, so the school can get better funding, you know, understanding about trash removal. Those are the important things that we think will make a long-term benefit to this village, as opposed to just, here's a bunch of cash and rice for the village, you know, and then 6 months later, they're out of cash, they're out of rice, and now they don't have the motivation to do it themselves. That's what we want to avoid. We want to, you know, better these kids' lives so that they can grow up and the next generation can do a little bit better, and the next generation. And, you know, this living in the village like this, that is their life. That is their existence. They don't know anything else. So we're not trying to change that for them. We're just trying to give them more opportunity, more options. So I am thinking that Mike definitely lost power because he hasn't even sent me a message yet. So it's actually, he's safe because he's in the Gulf where he's at, Koh Phangan. It's not like he's going to get wiped out by a tsunami, but he is literally on the beach in the middle of a storm. And I'm sure the waves are just smashing down in front of his villa.
Did he check weather forecast before he booked this trip?
No, because remember, he's on the Air Asia thing, so he's got to book like, I don't know, 21 days before minimum. And then, you know, like there's no 21-day forecast for tropical storms.
Cannot.
Apparently this storm came from the South China Sea and it's just battering the Gulf right now.
I just heard about it like last week.
Yes, and they said that it's going to swing up through Bangkok now.
Tomorrow until Sunday.
So we'll have a great, wonderful
weekend.
Yeah, weekend, nice and rainy. All right, guys. Well, with that, I don't think Mike's going to be coming back. He's probably completely out of power. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I want to thank all of you just for being here, for taking the time to join us on the live stream. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to Jib for taking a couple hours to come hang out on my podcast. Not her favorite way to spend the evening, I'm sure.
Chai.
Yeah, chai. And thanks for Mike for toughing it out with the storm and the weather, and he's not here. I'll send him a message. And guys, thank you so much for all your support for the solar project or for the kids in general. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure they really appreciate it. We're still trying to grow the channel. Once we get to 100, we can, you know, Mike and I talked about we can do the branding. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you know someone who might like the channel, please send it to them. Ask them to subscribe. Check out the audio version of the podcast, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, anywhere you get podcasts, we should be there. If we're not on your preferred podcast platform, let us know. We'll submit the feed. Yeah, so that's Mike right now. He says, I don't think this is sending. So he's sending me messages. I'm going to tell him I'm wrapping it up. Guys, again, thank you so much. Shop.BangkokStrange.com. That's our merch. We'll be adding more. If you guys have any suggestions, any questions that you want us to answer, BangkokStrange@gmail.com. Thank you again. And until next time, stay strange.